before streaming. Dun, dun. or how depressed it makes you make it feel when you ask it to. Mary needs help. What kind of help you need, Mary? I don't even know where you live. So what's up, everybody? How's it going? Right on. It is cold. We are, and you're in Central. Mike and I in New York. You're in Mountain Time, right? And Adam's in Pacific. All right. So we got a celebration at midnight and at 1. No, 11. Right, you're 2 hours behind us. I'm not staying up till 2 o'clock. Okay. If you make me. You what? I guarantee you'll be asleep by then. Why? No one's watching, so you're cool. And Saturn's in Capricorn. And it's astrology. And the full moon's in what? In Gemini, is it? What's the moon in right now? I forgot what it was. I know. Let's see. No, it's a specific type of moon. It's close to the Earth. So we got a current full moon astrology. Here we go. Moon and Monday. It doesn't say. Damn it. I don't know. The moon's in it's not in Capricorn. It's in something else. God, Tyler was just working, or Taylor, not Tyler. Tyler. What? Happy New Year, Mary. She said it's already 3 p.m. Monday, where she's at. Where are you? In Singapore? Anyway. I don't know what the moon's in. Yeah, it's 14 hours. No, sorry, 16 hours. It's 16 hours. She's in Australia. I think the international date line is where the flat Earth folds together. On the Pac-Man map. If I was a flat earther, that's what I think. Yeah, so no. Pac-Man works for me. Because you can see the holes in the tube in the NASA photographs of Antarctica. Yeah, they have a black spot in the middle. Cancer, okay. That's what I thought. I thought I said that. I jinxed her. Okay. Well, you should bring them on, Mary, onto the show. They can air their grievances publicly. So the idea behind the airing the grievances was to bring back the Festivus traditions from Seinfeld, you know, where they had the poll and the airing of the grievances. It was one of the Costanza family traditions. They didn't have a Christmas tree; they had a Christmas pole. Saturn return. Oh, that's nice. Enjoy that, Mary. God, that would suck. Anyway, sorry. So they have a pole, a stainless steel pole or an aluminum pole that they stand and grasp while they air their grievances to the family. With the family, to the family. So, Suzanne and I had, horrible Christmases. But they were nice from the outside, but on the inside they were tumultuous. So, not her. Hers sucked all around, but mine was okay. You got sick from it? Like poison? Food poisoning? Sweet. What kind? Did you lose any weight? That's always a bonus of food poisoning. It's the raw asshole from all the wiping that gets me, though. The 10th time. Happy New Year to you too. I'm gonna get sick of saying this, or I am. Yeah, people in chat. Adam is muted. No, he's not, just not talking, that's all. Well, you can't be muted because I can hear you. Right? There you go, see? The Finnish Santa Claus is Julu Puki, known as the Jolly Goat. He is a Halloween character who causes mischief. Kind of like Krampus, right? Or he's more of a baby eater, isn't he? Yes, that's the Saint Nick one, right? Is it Pukey or Pucky? I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not Finnish. I'm American. America. Yes, Gumby is Pokey. Adam, they can't hear you. Why can't they hear Adam? But you guys can hear Mike, right? No, they can't hear you guys. Oh. Fuck, what is going on here? I see what's going on. It's fucked up. That's what's wrong. Sorry. It's a grievance with my technical abilities. Okay, try it now, guys.
Testing.
Hello, hello.
I know they can hear it now.
All right.
Lou like Lou. Julu? Jolu.
Jobu?
No, the Jolu Pucky. Pookie.
Don't drink Jobu's rum.
Lou like Lou. Joe like Joe. Jolu Pookie.
Keep bats warm.
I just trust it to work from show to show, so I don't have to keep messing with it. Anyway, so it's all working. Everyone can hear you.
Excellent.
Awesome.
We were talking about Christmas. You heard my side of it. I don't remember what you guys said back.
I didn't have much to say.
I was looking at them going, what's wrong with them? So yeah, that's what we're talking about, the Christmas poll, the Festivus poll, and the airing of the grievances, and Suzanne and I were talking about it, and we thought, that would be a great idea to have a hive and do an airing of grievances, and then in the second part, do predictions for 2018.
I love it. That's a great idea.
And then like in the middle, we can talk about all the crazy fucking shit that went on this year. And I made a list.
There's no shortage of crazy shit from 2017.
I was trying to find a website that had like the top 10 craziest shit that went on, but what I found was that there's top 10 lists for crazy shit in just about every genre. So, you've got politics, crazy shit went on in politics. Look at, my number one was Nephilim Jim Comey. With his flip-flopping on the Clinton emails during the election. That was last year, and then getting fired over it. And, oh, man. Crazy.
Well, I'm glad you can hear me now.
Yes, I just saw that too. Ho, ho, ho. Julu Pookie. It's funny because
your pronunciation's not any better, man.
Jolu Pookie. Because I made this picture So I started this afternoon making. I gathered some stories together that I was going to do. I'll look over at you guys. I was going to, and I started to make a PowerPoint deck of all these stories, like doing a top 10 crazy shit list is actually what I called it. And then I started making more nicer slides. It's hard to explain. I was trying to put a background image on these things and then overlay the story. And can I share this? I don't know how I could share it with you guys. Oh, I could put it over here. I'll show you separately. One of the stories I found was about this guy in Singapore who's putting thumbtacks, not thumbtacks, but toothpicks on the bus seats.
Like sticking them into the bus seat?
Yeah. Look in Discord, you'll see it. Yeah, it's a 60-year-old man in Singapore with a warped sense of humor named Lim Yi Seng. Was busted for placing toothpicks on bus seats so people would sit on them. He placed 3 toothpicks apiece on the seats in the hopes of, well, they're not sure why he was so gung-ho about piercing people's tushies. Even the thought of sitting down, yeah, they missed a T. Even the thought of sitting down on them makes our butts uncomfortable. It's from Adi.com. So anyway, I started making all these pictures with and then goofy headlines like "Pokey Pokey, you know, likey." And by the time that was done, it was 2 hours already. I had to work on that, so I got nowhere with it. So I scrapped that idea.
People definitely sat on those.
Yeah, they did. He got arrested for it.
What's the charge? I would love to know what they. Oh, this was in Singapore?
Yeah, it was in Singapore.
Oh, he's probably dead now then.
What is that, like malicious public ass play?
Oh, that would not.
Sorry. I just thought, you know.
That make you a power bottom. It's power bottom training.
Oh, terrifying.
And the other story I found was
oh man.
2 thieves in Brockton, Massachusetts, armed with hunting knives, demanded $1 when they held up a convenience store. The 100-penny richer bandits made a swift getaway and authorities couldn't find them. The fugitive, they are not, so we're pretty sure an APB was not placed, the FBI was not summoned, and wanted posters were not printed.
That's just asserting your dominance right there.
It is.
That's what that's about.
It's like, we don't really want the money, so just give us $1. We're making a point. Thank you. Goodbye.
So this is the other odd story they had listed at the top of, for the year was sex with donkeys. There's a rule that time will never change. Sex with animals is always creepy. Always. This one is no exception. Everett Compton, 49, boinked a donkey and is front and center in this story. Although based on what happened, rear and center may be more appropriate. Cops in Siloam Springs, Arkansas. Yeah, this tale will not enhance Arkansas's reputation as a backwater hick paradise. Arrested Compton for doing the wild thing with the donkey that belongs to another family. How did he get busted? He was caught on surveillance camera. For his part, he claimed he had smoked a lot of pot, which caused him to do quote-unquote sick things. And here you were thinking eating an entire bag of Cheetos was the worst you could do while you're high. Anyway. So,
that's going to be the last state to legalize now.
If they ever do.
That's going to be front and center.
They're going to have like little joints, tiny joints, and they'll say 0.5 grams only, kind of like North Carolina was. You can only get liquor in those tiny bottles, in the airline bottles.
Seriously?
Last time I was there, it was like that. Maybe it was South Carolina. It was one of the Carolinas.
That's ridiculous.
It is. Where's Myrtle Beach? It was in Myrtle Beach. It was next.
Carolina.
Then it was in North Carolina because we had to go over the border. Yeah, it was crazy. Hey, Darcy's here. Sweet.
That's it's really bad when you literally have to reduce yourself to the size of Smurf to tie one on.
I know.
That's effed up.
And
that's effed up, man.
That was in restaurants. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make it sound like it was everywhere.
That sounds very crazy, though. Could you imagine?
They bring you out like a can of soda and like 2 bottles of vodka to the little. It's like being on an airplane.
Oh, they can't make the drink for you, too.
They can't even have liquor. They can only sell the little bottles.
Wow.
Or could only.
Please protect me from myself. It's very important you do that.
Yes, and tell me when to pray.
Yes.
Some awesome Ghostbusters jacket.
I was wondering what that was. Nice. I saw
Very
this
nice.
1984, and I thought you were going for the book.
I ain't afraid of no ghost. I got it.
Is that part of the shirt? Mel?
What's that?
Is that part of the shirt, man?
No, that was. I think I got it from Loot Crate a couple
Nice.
years ago or last year. Yeah, I got those Deadpool slippers. Did you see those?
No.
Deadpool bunny slippers. I got this awesome shirt yesterday. This is kick-ass. In fact, everyone, like 3 or 4 people bought one after I showed it.
Oh, I love it. Oh, yeah.
I love alchemy, so yeah.
Nice.
I didn't want to wear it tonight just for the show. So I wore my Sad Sick World. Which you can't see.
That one I can't see. Nice.
Sick Sad World. But now I'm hot. I'm going to have to take my Ghostbusters jacket off. Isn't it? It's really tight. Tight like a tiger. Tight. I hate fucking. There we go. All right.
You getting the cold spell down there, too? Or is it...
Yeah, it's cold. It was 20-something degrees. In fact,
Yeah, it's
I wanted to go out and film the moon, but it's too much clouds tonight.
Yeah.
Weather underground. It's 27. And it feels like 27. Yeah, it was a sunny day. No, it was all cloudy today.
Artificial clouds or real clouds?
I couldn't tell because I couldn't see even between the clouds. It looked like a single layer.
All right.
It was
I don't
really weird outside today.
There's not a single day that goes by where it's clear out where there is not some type of chemtrails at this point. Every single time I notice how clear and beautiful it is out, there is a plane streaking across the sky, and within 5 minutes or within 30 minutes, it's cloudy again.
I was, I've noticed that too. Usually, here we'll have days that have no clouds at all. And then you'll see planes either going in the sky and they look like boats on the water. You know, their contrails look like a wake in the sky.
Yeah.
That's how it should look. Or there's no contrail if they're burning clean, which I see a lot of. But then you get the ones that streak, and it's like, what's up with that?
Yep.
And they're commercial planes.
I've never zoomed in on them before. So.
I have. They're Delta planes and stuff. I had a thought a couple weeks ago that perhaps the atmospheric condition combined with the dome of electromagnetic radiation or microwave radiation from all the radar in a certain area, that mix might somehow congeal the particulates.
It could definitely cause them to clump up. That makes sense.
That was my best shot. Or they're fucking spraying us. Either way. Either way. It's pollution either way.
Yeah. They're gonna put us into another ice age. That's all that's gonna happen.
No, that's normal.
What's normal? Falling into an ice age?
Yeah, we're due for one now. God, there's
Yeah, it sucks though.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'd much rather the global warming than the ice age.
There's 9 people in chat.
Ooh.
There's a fuckload of people watching. Okay. Follow the jet stream. It's like the yellow brick road. On the yellow jet stream.
You know, I used to do a radio show in college. Believe it or not.
I did not, but you have a voice for radio and a face.
It was
for
all
TV.
to try and impress this girl that was doing it, obviously.
Yeah.
And we typically had about 4 or 5 listeners. And there was one day we got up to about 30. And she couldn't speak at that point. She got too nervous.
Yeah.
It was a record, though. We set a record.
For
The college radio station. That's how good it was.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I never got into radio. I was in like TV in high school, like the TV, AV, whatever it was. In college, that was grade school. Gosh, yeah. Our group of people, we were the people who set up like the film strip
Nice.
machines.
Yeah, dude, I remember doing that.
Yeah, and we
Part
had
of the AV club in grade school and junior high.
Yep,
It's good stuff
Yeah.
to know, too.
we had to set up the TV so they could broadcast that mind control program, Good News Week, into all the Roman Catholic. You had to go to a Roman Catholic grade school to get that.
Good News Week.
Okay, I don't care. Look, Suzanne's in chat. Get your ass in here. Yeah, it was like a kids Christian news broadcast. I couldn't tell you what one of the stories was, but it was some kind of fake news, I'm sure.
So you went to a Roman Catholic grade school, huh?
I did, and I was in Boy Scouts.
I was in Boy Scouts, too. That I did.
I was in
Yeah.
Boy Scouts.
I was
I
an
went to
altar
Catholic
boy.
school.
I was an altar boy. I went to Catholic camp.
Did not do that.
Didn't go to Catholic camp, but did go to church camp.
It's kind of like church camp, but nobody tells you what I went to. It was apparently, we found out when we got there that it was like a camp for underprivileged people, you know? And
Yeah.
And we had church every day at 7:30
AM?
a.m. and every fucking day. And that was a nightmare. And there's no escape from it either.
What happens if you didn't wake up?
There's no option for that. The RAs or whatever, the camp guys would come through and pull you out of your bed.
I'd go sleep in the woods.
And
Fine.
the camp was at the base of Mount Meeker in Estes Park, Colorado.
That was probably very nice.
It was gorgeous. So, I mean, it was a trade-off. Like, I could put up with the God shit, but I'm going to go ride a horse later. So, okay.
All right.
Or I get to go shoot guns, or, you know, they had a very regimented day. You actually go in on Saturday, set up your schedule for the entire week, and every day you have a certain set of things you have to do. Wait, my mic's doing that? Wait a minute.
Church camp was very similar. We went to two different ones when I was a kid.
My mic has a
And,
high-pitched scratch. Okay, my mic's
One of them always had a lot of daily activities: horseback riding, canoeing, fishing, at crafts, all that kind of stuff. And the other one was really so kind of oppressive and terrible. I used to pray to be kidnapped by Bigfoot. It didn't happen, so I concluded God was false.
Is this better, everyone? My mic was scratchy, apparently. I have a pop guard. Better now? I don't know what was wrong. Like, all my settings were off. I guess I was pointing at the wrong mic. I was using my camera's mic, apparently. Or something.
Oh, so you're really quiet?
No, they said it was screeching. And burning their ears like lava.
Which is weird, because it sounds good to me.
I know. Because I've got a certain microphone chosen in Zoom that's going to you, and whatever OBS had is wrong. That's why they couldn't hear you. It's like I had it set to a specific device, but when I closed OBS and reopened it, it got lost.
Got it.
I don't know. It's all good now.
Speaking of Bigfoot, I was wondering, what do you think those guys on that show, Finding Bigfoot, get paid? You think they get paid a lot of money to do that? Run around the woods and pretend like they hear stuff?
At least 6 figures.
You think so?
I think they get paid way better now since they're on TV than they did before. That's what I think.
I mean, I think you're 100% right on that.
Yeah.
That'd be an awesome life.
Oh, can you guys should be able to hear the gunshots going on out here too. What?
I said it might be pretty bullshit after like 4 episodes, after you run out of ideas to legitimately find Bigfoot, and then you're just...
No, then they start bringing on celebrities. What's the name of the show?
Isn't it Finding Bigfoot, or am I making that up?
No, because there's a couple different Bigfoot finding shows. So there is one called Finding Bigfoot. There's a couple other ones.
All right, Finding Bigfoot.
Dude, I'm pretty sure Bigfoot is an interdimensional creature.
Yeah, so are we. Well, I am. No, they don't have the production budget. It's too bad. I don't know where I could find that either. Well, if we could find their budget, we could figure out how much they make. I'm sure it's less than $1 million an episode.
Oh, yeah. Simply.
Still doesn't mean they're not making bank, though.
They can't make, well, I mean, they could make money on distribution. Have they gotten to 100 episodes yet?
I want to say yes, but I don't know.
I don't know. They've had 9 seasons.
Jeez.
This is
9. What actually changes each season?
They still don't find it. It's like The Curse of Oak Island, you know? I stopped watching that after the second season. It's like, they're never going to find anything.
All right, I thought that was going to be cool. And then
I did too, and it's like, you're just stringing me along. Plus,
the Loch Ness ones are always good.
It's the constant suspense they put you in from commercial to stay through the commercial. And it's like the whole Oak Island episode, you know they're not going to find it. What's the suspense?
right, exactly.
But you guys are just trying to sucker me in.
I love when they're standing on opposite ends of the forest, both hooting and hollering their Bigfoot calls, and they hear the other person. They go, "What was that?" And then they go to the other guy, and he's doing the same thing.
They're banging on trees. Is this the one with Bobo? That dude Bobo?
Oh God.
I have no idea, but it certainly sounds like that fits.
James Fay? I don't know. I don't watch Bigfoot shows. Remember the show that came out that was killing Bigfoot?
Was that run by Darren Grimes?
No, it was on. God, what was it? What was it on? Like Destination America or something? One of those creepy Discovery Channel.
Apparently,
channels.
Bobo.
I don't recall that one.
Stupid in Filipino.
That what?
Bobo means stupid in Filipino.
I don't think that was his take, but it could have been his mom. It's probably a nickname he had. I don't know. I forgot what I was going to look up. Back to the grape soda.
Is that what you're drinking?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Henry's Hard Grape Soda.
Is it good?
It's very good. I have the orange too. I don't like the taste of beer or liquor, really.
Any beer?
I bought I picked up some of the Sam Adams Citrus IPA.
All right.
Rebel Citrus. It's got lemon and lime in it. It's pretty good.
The Rebel IPA. Yeah, Rebel's not bad. Rebel is one of the few Sam beers I actually like. I don't like most of their stuff.
I'm waving bye to Yvonne. Bye, Miss Vaughn. I saw this movie yesterday called The Big Short. It's from 2015. It's about the guys who bought all the credit default swaps against the mortgage-backed loans, or mortgage-backed bonds, rather, in 2006 and 7, leading up to the housing bubble that burst. And all those guys went bankrupt, and they just made a fortune.
And they doubled down a couple of times, I feel like, too.
Yep.
They were so sure that they had it right.
Yep. Well, they did. And if you watch the movie, basically, the ratings industry and the exchange were complicit in defrauding the public by putting out fake data. They were putting on a fake index, and the bonds weren't being rated accurately. Bonds were getting rated as AAA, but they were shit bonds. It should have been like Bs.
So you had an issue there. You had all of these pension funds and all of these funds in general that needed places to put money, billions upon billions of dollars, but they had bylaws in them that said they have to be in AAA rated bonds. But there wasn't enough AAA paper out there to cover all of that money. So they had to come up with some kind of a new instrument, and that's what it was. But it obviously was not AAA. That
actually, the mortgage-backed loan, the MBS, mortgage-backed security, came out, I think, in the 70s, late 70s is what they said.
I don't remember. You would know better than me on that.
So. It was in the movie.
Yeah.
And the reason that the movie portrayed as why they were all rated as AAAs, because if Standard & Poor's didn't give them a AAA, they would just go down to Moody's because they would do it.
Yeah. Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And yet those companies are all still around. And they're
No.
we look to rate bonds and stocks.
I know.
We didn't learn.
It's going to happen again.
Oh, yeah. Except for this time, it's going to be treasuries. And
Yeah.
that's the end of the world as we know it.
I think the yield's already goofed, isn't it?
The yield went negative for a little bit.
Right.
It's certainly not that high now.
Okay.
The problem is if the yield goes too high, we then can't afford to pay back our debt.
Right.
So the higher that interest rates go, the more that debt becomes completely untenable.
It already is.
It's already ridiculous, but at least we don't have to pay interest on it. If we had to start paying interest on it, you'd take in less money in taxes than you did in the interest payments on the debt that we hold.
That's only for the money that we borrowed from the Fed.
Correct. And the money we issued in terms of treasuries too.
Right.
So like China owns a
right, all
ridiculous,
the T-bonds, right.
yeah. Which is why anyone that says we're going to go to war with China is ridiculous, because
I know.
neither country would ever allow it, because it would destroy both financial systems overnight.
I forgot who, I think it was Cliff High was saying that his data suggests that China is going to take care of North Korea for us.
I could see that.
Because if there was a conflict, all those refugees would be pouring into China from North Korea, and they don't want it. They want to have nothing to do with that.
If there's a nuclear blast there, it's not like China's going to escape without a fallout.
Exactly. But nukes are a hoax, and we all know that.
I mean, I can't argue one way or the other. So I have no proof one way or the other. I was
Me
not
neither.
there to test the nukes.
I'm teasing. I don't know if they're real. But I'm not believing pictures from 100 years ago, that's for sure. So, yeah. Oh, the supermoon. We were talking about the supermoon, too. I don't remember where I heard this, but it was someone last year had said that the supermoons are important in rituals because it locks in certain things, patterns in reality. And the last one that was important was January of 48. Making 47 like the programming year. Would be the year that all the programs went into place, the rituals, spells, whatever you want to call it, right? Went into place. The supermoon locks it in and makes it happen. Like everything we've been living through since then has been dictated by what happened in 47. And if you look back at like all the crazy shit that went down in 47, it's kind of interesting.
Supermoons are that rare?
I don't know. So it might have been just the type of moon it was, or just the one in that date. I don't know what the.
Right. But a supermoon is part of the ingredient that needs to be, or.
According to this person, I wish I could remember who it was now. I'll think of it. But yeah, that's what it was. A she. That's what she said. I think it was Randy Green.
I would consider those 30, 40 years to be probably the most fucked up time in history.
Yeah.
Bar none.
From 40 to 70, you mean?
No, from like whenever the Fed was created.
1901?
The end of World War II.
Yeah. And then a little after. Once the Nazis got into the U.S., it was crazy.
Yes.
That's when it went nuts. That's when the police state started, really. The lockdowns. The CIA started then. The MJ-12 started shortly after that.
We started with the internment camps. We started putting
True.
American citizens in internment camps.
Yeah, we forget about that.
The window. Yeah. No, we forget about a lot. And I understand the dilemma. Don't get me wrong. I understand the concept, but
it's still wrong.
It wasn't worth it. It's still very wrong, yes.
I can hear the guns starting. People shoot off guns on New Year's here like crazy.
You sure they're not fireworks or actually guns?
There's fireworks and guns. There's a guy down on the other side of my subdivision. I swear he's got a 50 cal that he lets loose with sometimes. Boom, boom, boom. Really loud.
I live in Idaho. It's fireworks and definitely guns.
So I live in New York, so I don't think I've ever heard a gun before, to be honest. I'd say this is probably one of the strictest gun control states in the country. Safe to say.
Is it?
I think New York is very strict. I could be wrong.
When I lived in Chicago, you couldn't own a handgun and live in the city limits. I know that.
All right, maybe not that strict.
I think you could have a shotgun. But all my friends had guns, and they lived in the city limits, and they didn't give a shit.
Playing with fire at that point. There are some laws I don't pay attention to. That's one I don't fuck around with.
I pay attention to the ones that make sense.
Yes, I agree. The ones that make sense are the ones that can get me arrested for a long time.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of other things that happened last year. Well, the whole Russiagate thing, that's still going on.
I can't believe that's still happening. Even though CNN came out or secretly came out and said it's a nothing burger. How it's still possibly in the news. What was that, Van Jones, right?
I don't know. No, I don't remember who did it, who said that. It wasn't a Clapper?
No. Somebody at CNN.
Yeah, well, isn't Jay Clapper at CNN?
Oh, it may have been. For some reason, I thought Van Jones, but...
It was definitely on a Project Veritas tape, though. That's where I heard it, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. It's a nothing burger.
I was well into it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And yet somehow they still stick by it.
Well, they've got a special prosecutor now, so... They kind of have to. One who's got conflict of interest like you wouldn't believe. There was an op-ed actually in CNN yesterday or the day before. I tweeted it too. About CNN posted an op-ed that said, I'll find it, that he's right, that Trump's right. It's pretty funny. Trump is right about the FBI, is what it says. Here.
That's pretty surprising that they would do that.
Yeah, it was a blur. It did go fast. The year went fast. I remember last year at this time, we were all waiting for something cool to happen. And again, we're waiting for something cool to happen.
It's another round of a fight we've seen before.
Turn off. Shit.
Yeah, I don't believe any of those things. I don't wait.
No.
Disclosure is not, or any kind of disclosure is not going to come through government. I don't think, at least. On any of these
Disclosure
issues.
of what?
That's the thing. Whether it be the whole alien thing, whether it be the JFK thing, it's all never going to come through government. And we've had rumors of all of those so far.
Well, we don't know what we don't know, though. Like, we don't know what wasn't released for JFK stuff. They may have released everything. They may have told us everything that they know. I'm not taking their side here. I'm just saying, for like UFO stuff, the current normal military might have given up everything they actually know, and everything's been squirreled away into secret projects that no one has any visibility on anymore.
Which to me is unacceptable, because at the end of the day,
Totally.
It's my money.
I agree.
You're using my money to do this. I should have every right to see it.
Even the national security thing, I think, is bullshit. We paid for it. We should be able to see it at some point.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Or opt out of that portion of paying for it. You should be allowed to see it, or opting out of that specific portion of your tax.
Well, everyone would opt out of military, and that's where it's going.
No, not everyone.
A lot of people.
From the people that you brainwashed to think that is necessary.
It depends on how many brainwashed people there are.
I think there are plenty.
I think most people need to have a brain to be washed to begin with.
Yes. Indeed.
They're all NPCs.
Look, Kalendal already fell asleep.
I think James said he was going to be on around 12.
He is.
That may have been 12.
Yeah.
It's 12.
Where's Graham?
12. I don't know. He was all excited this afternoon. He was like, I can't wait to air my grievances.
I know, right? That's why I was like, I didn't see him. I was like, dude, where you at, man?
$10 says he's asleep.
Yeah, I was just going to say he probably.
Probably. Oh, he daytime drinked again, or early evening drinked.
Yep, we're done.
He's a drunk. Yes. Suzanne's asking me if anyone showed up. You know, wish people showed up.
We'd call him an alcoholic, but Grimm's not posh enough to be an alcoholic. He's just a drunk.
He doesn't drink enough.
That's true.
As far as I know. Chimes of Chimera. What's that?
Speaking of drinking, I mean, I don't really care for beer very much. There's a couple that I like, and I brew myself. So I brew mead and brandy.
Nice.
So
how strong is the drink you make? Do you know?
Well, I haven't made it in a few years, the brandy, but the last time I made it, it was strong enough that I don't really know what proof it was, but I know that 4 shots was pretty much going to put you to bed.
You don't distill it, do you? You're just brewing it.
Well,
distill it.
You can distill it. It's not that hard. I cold distill when I distill.
I'm thinking mead. Never mind.
Well,
no,
yeah,
you can.
Not going to, but
Mead's so delicious, though. I'm going to be brewing mead here in the next couple of months.
I am too.
If you guys are interested, let me know. Get me a shipping address, and I shall send you samples.
So this is actually my year mark of stopping drinking, believe it or not.
Wow, cool.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I want to make it a year, and now I have to decide what the next step is from here.
Weed?
That's been longer.
No, start smoking weed.
That's been, I mean, I certainly used to.
No, that would be what's next. The next step's to start smoking weed.
If I was to go back, I think I would start trying to make beer with it. I think that's something I've been meaning to do for a long time.
I'm going to make a honey and herbal mead.
There we go.
That would be interesting.
Yes.
Are there THC beers out there? Oh, no, I gotta Google it.
I've heard that there are a couple. I think I like mead better because it's sweet. It's not. Sometimes beer is like too bitter and hoppy for me.
Yeah.
It's a cousin of the hop plant, so you could replace the hops in theory.
Right.
Oh yeah.
There apparently are 6 beers now you can get with THC.
I'm surprised that they were able to mesh the two in terms of the legal aspects of it.
If they're actually, this one just contains CBD.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but it's worthless if they're cooking it.
I would say it's going to be very difficult for the legal aspect to be rectified in order for people to actually do that. It will eventually get done, but I think it's going to take some time and
okay, so none of these contain THC. They're all CBD. I was going to say, I mean, if you've got edibles, what's the difference between an edible and a bottle of beer? Because beer is basically bread in liquid form.
Little legal aspects to it. It's very strict sometimes what you can actually put in and what you can't.
There are some very bizarre laws governing brewing and brewing processes.
Why?
I don't know. It's like here in Idaho, as a home brewer, I can only make so many gallons.
Yes.
And it has to be for personal use.
For the longest time, brewing was illegal. You could not make beer in your house. They actually had.
That's true. Yeah.
Which is a little bit ridiculous. Now, Germany has the craziest beer laws.
There are none?
No, they're very strict. You can only use 5 ingredients in beer in Germany. That's it.
Wow.
It's been in place since the 1400s. It's called Reinheitsgebot.
Galut. That's like
that's interesting.
Wasn't it the fat kid's name on Willy Wonka? Galut.
Gunther.
What's his name? I'm gonna find it.
Aldous?
No. Galut. I think it was Galut.
Augustus Gloop.
Augustus Gloop. That's right.
There we go.
Augustus. He got stuck in the tube.
But yeah, you can only use malt, hops, yeast, water,
and wheat.
There you go. I was going to struggle to get that one, so thanks for the help.
You can also use oats or barley or any kind of grain
So grain, yeah.
because that makes the. I'll think of it. You cook the grains and that becomes the basis of the fermentation.
Yes.
And
You have to break.
there's a
sugars.
word for it. The something. It's like a one syllable word, like the glut or the sot or I forget what it's called.
So there's the mash,
The mash.
and
But-
then as soon as the grains is grist. You start with grist, and then as soon as you start breaking it down, it's mash. So as soon as you start boiling it, and
Mhm.
you start throwing all the
Goodie,
hops.
all the goodies in. Hops go in last. That's like
They can go in last. They don't have to go in last. It's where
Actually, when you add the hops, changes the taste of your beer and sometimes even the texture, the headiness of it.
the texture, the smell.
Yep.
Hops are,
It changes the whole body of a beer.
why?
they also
Well, because of how the hops blends and breaks down chemically and ferments chemically at different stages of the fermentation process, because not all stages of the fermentation process are, the same. Different types of fermentation take place at different times.
Yep.
And then you have your ingredients in varying stages of fermentation, which changes how the alcohol processes as well, as far as flavor.
yeast are incredible.
So when you're done,
Yeast is amazing.
You cook all that shit and then it starts to ferment. Afterwards, you siphon off your liquid and then you can do whatever, filter it or whatever. But the mash that's left over, there's a word for that. That's the one I was thinking of. I think like all the junk that's left over afterwards.
We used to just call it mash.
It's called.
I know there's a specific term for it. I can't think of it at the moment.
It's called a cone or a hot break, or I know what you're trying to think of right now. Are you looking it up?
I am.
All right.
I found a how to brew glossary.
But I make
Croissant.
non-alcoholic meads too, because it's
the
just
wort.
tasty stuff.
Wort. Oh man.
It's the stuff. That's what I was thinking of before. It's the.
Wow. So that's
That's not what it is. It's not what it is. The wort is the malt sugar solution that's boiled prior to fermentation.
Yeah.
That's when you put your mash in your liquid and all that crap. I think is when you boil. That's the wort, and that's what ferments.
My grandfather made moonshine in his basement. Had it still in his basement till I was about 14, almost 15 years old. So I learned a lot by watching them distill moonshine and make beer and other things.
Mary's mom makes moonshine.
Awesome. Well, I guess if you're into it, as like if you drink, I'm not really a big fan of drinking alcohol because there was a lot of alcoholism in my extended family. But I do enjoy the hobby of brewing, and I've turned out some pretty tasty stuff, which even if you don't drink regularly, is nice to have on the occasional special moment.
absolutely. That's
Yeah, like I totally love making ecstasy, but I don't like doing it.
Oh well, I'm not that adventurous with my
Kidding,
home
I'm-
chemistry, so
I'd blow the house up. I would never do that.
I'm the child that look, seriously, when I was 10, they took away my chemistry set and barred me from touching any household products that could possibly be mixed. I got kicked out of 8th grade science for teaching my classmates how to make napalm and dynamite. They shouldn't have left me in charge of the lab. I was very adventurous and there were chemicals and I had keys.
We made our share of napalm.
you had keys into the chemical laboratory.
Yeah, because I was our room's teaching assistant, so he left me with the keys to set up the lab. But then he was late because he got caught up on a personal phone call, and all the class had filed in. So basically, we were just standing there with nothing to do. And so I taught them how to make napalm, and then I taught them how to make dynamite.
Nice.
And I got suspended for a month.
Sweet.
It was great. It was so worth it.
This is where I got my Justin Bieber sex doll from.
What?
I'm ordering a Justin Bieber sex doll. Is this where I order from?
How many would you like? With pubic hair or not?
Without pubic hair, please, and maybe 2 years younger. That's possible.
I don't know.
Excuse me, sir. Are you a politician?
Yes. I'm the from Canada, and
You get a discount.
I get sweet.
You get a discount with your Justin Bieber doll if you also order a large pepperoni pizza.
Will you put the sex doll's rubber penis in the pizza for me?
I'm sure we could arrange that. We do aim to satisfy our customers. Holy crap! Where has this gone? What the hell, Phil?
Big sausage pizzas, if you know what I mean. Here we go, guys.
Crazy shit.
Happy day from fucking Hinton, Alberta.
What temperature you got?
Hey, that link's no good.
25.
Oh.
5?
Yeah. We went ice fishing that day. It was stupid cold. It was minus 33 with a wind chill of minus 45. Yeah. We were out there fishing.
You said it got up to 15 in the tent, though, right?
Yeah. It was warm in the tent. That's why we were out there.
Yeah, warm. That's very warm.
Yep.
15.
What are you guys up to?
Dude, that sex doll looks creepy.
Man, Jerry, I put like $50 of that stuff into other coins.
Yeah, you should because they're so cheap. They're all on sale right now.
The freaking the Doge coin went up 10%.
10%?
A penny each.
Is that all they are?
Yeah, man, they're 1 penny each, man.
I didn't look. I'm trying not to look like every 5 minutes.
They're like 1.2 or 0.012 pennies.
Yeah, I see it now. It's at 0.008.
Yeah.
So what did you get it
at? What's that at right now?
0.008.
Yeah, I got it at 0.007, I think.
Cool, you made a whole 1/10 of a cent.
I'm up 10%, which is like
10
$10.
cents. It's like 10 cents.
Yeah, I got 7,500 of them now.
I was just about to ask if you were still in chat, Suzanne.
I gotta go get food, but then I realized we're probably doing New Year's Eve on your guys' time, not mine.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
make it.
Hey, didn't you pass the ticker already?
No, we got 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah, we still have 2 hours and 7 minutes.
But I was going to
got a ways off.
I was going to conveniently forget about it, to be honest.
Oh, you were?
I actually was forgetting about it.
Are you done already, Mike?
No, I'm same as Jerry.
Oh, I am.
It failed. I bought that Sia coin.
Yeah.
At it was like 0. It was 1.5 cents, so it's 0.015.
Yeah.
And it's doubled. It's at 0.03 now.
Yeah, I can't buy that one. It's not on my wallet.
Yeah, I know. It's only on Bittrex or Binance. I don't remember. It's only on one exchange. It's hard to get. But I ended up getting like 6,000 of them for $20 or $50. It was a shitty, tiny amount of money. But if it goes to $1, I got $5,000 there. Woo.
I should give you some Litecoin to transfer into it for me.
Wait till it goes back down.
What if it doesn't go back down?
I don't know. I don't even know what they do. I mean, I know what they do, but I haven't really investigated them. I bought it on a tip.
I just looked at it and I was like, yeah, that seems fun.
Crazy.
Yeah, I try not to do that because it's how you lose your money.
Yeah, but I'm not losing my money right now, so it's okay.
But when you do, if you do, you'll be angry.
Yeah.
You'll be angry with yourself. You'll turn green.
Yeah.
You'll turn green and break shit.
Well, Litecoin went down a whole bunch.
I know, it's going to go back up.
Oh, yeah. I'm not worried about it.
Mr. Ponzi scheme.
Mr. Ponzi scheme. I'm outside having my class right now.
So, send me email. Oh, Jorge wants the link. Put it in chat.
Right now?
Did you catch any good fish? Any eaters? Keepers?
Well, we just kept what we caught because it's a stock lake. So we caught 2 9-inch fish. They're really pathetic looking. Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of something. I'll write it down so I won't forget. Keep going. Go ahead.
Not too much in the fishing department on those 2 days. I think it's too cold. They don't really move around that much. Yeah.
I was watching this video yesterday on, I think it was on the Removing the Shackles channel. Jorge, hola. Feliz Nuevo Año, amigo. You can't hear him.
I don't think we can hear him. It's not your
He's
mic's not-
We can't hear you. ¿Dónde está los pequeños quibleros? We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Jorge. Wait, you're muted. You got your mic muted or something. Let's see. Can't even unmute him. Damn it. You're on your own, buddy.
Tell him to go out and come back in.
No, I think his mic's muted because I don't even hear like scratching or anything. Is the mute button Is the mute button on your Zoom? Can I unmute him? Anyway. You can hear, but you can't talk. I know. Yes. Okay. What were we talking about? Oh, they were talking
Removing
about
the shackles.
they were talking about black goo.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that? And the guy was saying
Yeah.
that there's 2 of them, and one is silicon based and can interface with technology, with digital technology, and the other one is carbon based and interfaces with human bodies.
Right.
And that it's his impression. Did he say that they were both kind of like, not in a race, but they're both kind of like terraforming and bioforming humanity towards complete integration with them?
Oh wow, I missed that part.
Who
He's
was this?
breathing into his mic too
now
much.
now talk. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great.
Yay. Ole.
Say, how everybody's doing there?
We're doing good. Well, how are you?
Oh, yeah, no problems, man. Listen, I'm hearing an echo, man. I'm coming all right?
Yeah.
You sound fine.
Do you still have the video
Okay.
open? Or-
Oh, yeah. Closed it.
Yeah.
Did we lose Feld?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we did.
Listen,
He's
Yeah.
probably gonna come back.
We can hear you.
because every time I speak, I hear an echo. I hear my voice again.
Are you running? I can't listen in your headphones.
Mike said, does he have the YouTube video open?
No, he has the listen to my own mic thing checked.
Okay, listen to me, listen.
We're listening.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna try something on my own, see if I can come back.
Okay.
If I don't, yeah.
Well, come back and say goodbye.
Yeah,
I don't understand why everyone has so much problems. Yes, I just thought that was interesting about the 2 different things. If, say, like all these channelings of the Galactic Federation, which tell everybody that they're going to be ascending into a silicon world and get crystalline bodies and all that shit. What if that's just like the dream of the silicon black goo, that it's trying to make humanity render for it? And if Adam Loyal was here, he would say that it was the mushrooms doing it anyway.
They did talk about the mushrooms.
I know they did. It was a really interesting chat.
Yeah, it was.
I've heard that put forward before, but I've heard it put forward that the silicone-based black goo is like unnatural and parasitic, and the organic-based black goo is indigenous and natural to the earth itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, the first thing I thought of was, oh, petroleum is the black goo. And
A lot of people have said that.
And we're burning it.
Yep. Or it's the life force of the planet.
Or it's what emanates the grids, or projects the grids, maybe. I think it has something to do with the energy grids, if it flows.
I have no clue.
Me neither.
Lava might too.
Yeah, it's magnetic, isn't it?
Yep.
Stepford Wives.
Those lava tubes in Oregon, that guy's compass went all wonky.
What's black?
Inside the lava tubes.
What's black honey?
When he wasn't inside, he was searching for someone, and in Oregon there's all these lava tubes that, most of them are collapsed or blocked off, so he was just walking on top of them. And he was even skeptical. He had said, oh yeah, I heard this, but I've never had it happen to me. And then like 5 minutes later, oh my God, my compass.
Famous last words, right?
I know, exactly. Totally.
I never crashed my car.
I know. Oh my God, I try to never say never anymore. As soon as I do.
Can you hear the gunshots? Oh, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Woo.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, Happy New Year.
The second worst holiday of the year.
Yeah.
So, Suzanne, you missed the grievances part. So
I only have grievances against myself.
Oh. Well, we're so happy that you're doing that important work.
I decided not to be petty this year. Figured it's all my own fault anyway.
That's never going to happen.
Did you have good grievances though?
We didn't have any.
Oh, none?
Not really. Other than Christmas sucks.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, Sherry, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, great. As you notice, I have my brother's name in it because this belongs to my brother's computer, actually.
That bastard.
Yeah, I know. He's in heaven probably laughing on me. But anyway,
open mouth, insert foot.
Listen, what time is it in America now?
It is midnight on the East Coast.
Right. Wow. Okay, listen, I have a couple of things that I noticed, if you don't mind if I share with you guys.
Shoot.
Go right ahead.
Okay. This is what's been happening for a couple of months, all right? And I found that all this situation a little bit strange. Now, just bear with me because I have a bit to say. I'm going to be talking about cricket, okay?
Sport.
Little animals one. Actually, the flu, the weather, and some other shit. So.
Do I have to take notes?
No.
Okay.
No. Let's talk about, there is a point to all this craziness that I have noticed for the last couple of months. As you know, okay, cricket, when they start singing, they love the summer and they love humidity. They hate the cold weather. They can't stand it. Most of them, they die or they just go to sleep. And that's it. You never hear them in winter. It's summer now here in Australia. For a few months ago, when it was the middle of winter, the cricket started singing for a few days, man. They went like 4 or 5 days. Hang on a second. Just they wouldn't shut up. And I thought, my God, man, in the middle of winter, cricket, what the hell is that? That's not normal, you know, it's very abnormal. It's like winning the lottery 10 times in a row. That weird it is. Anyway, leave the cricket on one side for a second. Let's talk about the North Pole. They have found a crack. It's a huge crack. It goes for kilometers. But that's not the issue. That's not the problem. The problem is how deep it goes down. It goes so deep that you can see the ocean. I mean, it's really terrible, actually. Let's put the weather on one side with the cricket.
How wide is it?
It goes for kilometers, actually.
But not across the whole island, right?
No. But the problem is it goes really deep. That's the problem.
It goes below the ocean.
Yeah, you can actually see it.
That's wild.
So it's cracked. A crack. So like this snow stuff next to the cricket. There is a point to all of this. Just bear with me. Let's talk about the flu now, okay? Now, every year, here, especially here in Australia, say you have to vaccinate because it's getting heavy. They go so heavy that about a month ago, this woman got some complication from the flu. She was pregnant. She was going to deliver. And she went into coma, man. She's all right now because of the flu. 2 young girls.
Did she get a flu shot, though?
Apparently, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but she went to coma. Anyway, a few days later, 2 young girls, right? Very young, I don't know, 15, 14 young girls, they got the flu and they died. That's it. They was very healthy. They collapsed. Even the news say 2 young girls, they died because of the flu. Like it's a normal thing. Like you got the flu, you die, you know. I thought that's the cricket, the snow, the flu, people are dying all over the world. What the hell is this? Now, they even doctor find even people, men dying of heart attack, young people. They done autopsy to these young people. No drugs, no alcohol, super fit. Doctor cannot conclude why in the hell they're dying. Some young people of heart attack, it doesn't make any sense. Now, in 2014, the World Cup in Brazil, they find these mosquitoes who goes into the women's when they're pregnant and the babies come with a strange head.
Encephal, whatever it is.
Yes.
It's the Zika virus.
Yes, exactly. A lot of that shit be happening all over the world. So you got the cricket, you got the weather, you got the flu, and you got this. Now the ultimate. I don't mean the ultimate, but sorry about my English is not very, very good. So now you remember, I think it was a couple of months ago in Miami, there was this this bad weather was going to happen, like a cyclone or something, you know.
It was Hurricane Irma.
Yeah, but it wasn't that bad. I mean,
no, it wasn't.
Exactly. Good one. I'm glad you are with me. Now, they say it was to be so huge, right? That even people from overseas, they went to Ireland just to show that on the news. Yeah. Exactly. So it came, but nothing happened. Now, a few days ago here in Australia, they predicted 3 days of rain. It was going to be so huge, it'd be the equivalent of 3 months rain. It will be like 200 mils.
Wow.
I mean, if you're going to go to, if you go to work, don't take the car, take the boat, man. You know what I mean? Forget about that, right? Anyway, here's the funny thing, okay? Now, about the weather that happened in Australia and US, Miami. You got satellites, right?
Allegedly.
They tell you the strength of the weather. From 1 day to 2 days, different to hit the island, it can change. But when you're talking about an hour, 2, 3, 4, 5, if they don't tell you anything, that's gonna hit with tremendous force, and then it didn't, you have to realize one thing.
They're wrong?
One, are they lying to us? Or they're preparing the human race for something? Remember the cricket?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the snow?
Sure.
All of these, exactly, is connected to something. You know what I mean?
I do. There's something, yeah, it's something has changed. I agree.
Yeah, but the problem is, why didn't tell people the truth what's going on? I mean, like the weather, they shouldn't know like 5, 6, 7 hours before they won't hit the island with tremendous strength. Like here in Australia, it's the same. Be careful, it's gonna rain, don't come out of the house, protect yourself with sandbags and all of that. It did rain, of course, but it didn't happen with the same rain, with the same power. So I actually thought, something's happening. One, I cannot believe they're doing just to make news, to scare people. I would not be surprised that something is happening and they don't tell the people. Crickets on winter, no way. That deep crack in the snow that goes really deep, that you can actually see the ocean.
Mhm.
That's not cool, man. People
No,
getting,
it's not.
yeah, exactly,
But
exactly.
there's even more than that, though. I think there were at least 5 new species of animals discovered last year
Really, why
that were thought to have been extinct. I think they even caught one yesterday with some crazy shark.
Big species
Right.
of animals?
Yeah. Yesterday was some kind of prehistoric shark. I'll find the story. It was crazy.
I can see ocean. Did they find any on land, or was it all?
Yeah, it was a land shark. No, it wasn't. It
Oh,
was
outside
off the coast of Portugal.
a land shark. That's something.
You should see this thing. It's crazy. Here, you can look at it over here. There, it's in chat. I'll show everyone on the screen. Oh, no, wrong way. There we go. This crazy shark. Is that working? Can you see that?
The Portuguese trawler.
Yeah, they can see it. Well, not now, but they can when I put this back. Look at this thing. It's crazy shark. A frilled shark was discovered off the coast of Portugal. The shark species is thought to be 80 million years old.
Oh my God.
Sharknado publicity stunt. I would not put that past them. It's
What are we up to?
it's
Sharknado 5?
I think 6, to be honest. 6? Yeah, but there were other things too. There were I forget. I don't remember. But there were other animals. I remember hearing about new species and whatnot. It's definitely bizarre. It does seem like things are changing. It does seem like the sky is off even. Like where the stars aren't where I remember them being, which could be me being off too, but I'm not the only person who thinks that.
Yeah.
I've heard people say that we got moved off this planet and put on another planet while they cleaned up our planet, and that's why things aren't completely 100% the same.
Hey, that'd be cool.
It would be cool.
I'd be open for that, yeah.
I don't believe it, but it would be cool.
That'd be fun. We could just keep fucking up planets left and right.
Yeah. No,
we're good at it. We've done it like 6 times and fucked it up 6 times already.
They keep cleaning it for us, so why would we ever stop?
No, it's just enough time passes for it to naturally cleanse itself. Millions of years.
Wow. Hey, listen, I have another question for you guys. You know that UFO, the Pentagon, it was on the YouTube and all of that. Listen, you're into cameras and photos. That to me, when I'm watching that, it's hard. It look really off. It look like, when you take a picture and it comes like this, that is true. But it look like it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that picture being put on the top of the image.
Like superimposed.
Yeah, man. It looks strange, really strange.
It's either a full spectrum or thermal or IR. It's not a normal camera. It's not a normal spectrum camera, so it's going to look black and white and have those weird attributes which you described. It looks legit to me.
Right.
I heard people complaining that it says slave down the side. It just means it's a slave monitor to a master monitor.
Right.
Master slave.
Right.
It's a common term in computer stuff. It doesn't mean it's fake.
Right.
It seems all that stuff that came out seems legit, but it's all ho-hum and like, yeah, we know this shit is out there. The story doesn't tell us anything.
Yeah.
But to me, in my mind, that isn't people made that. Humans made that, not aliens. Whatever that was, and it's just unknown to the government who made it.
Right. It's the Russians, man.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
again, we have to go back to the stories that we're told or hear or read. If you look at like Richard Dolan's information about breakaway
yeah,
civilization,
yeah,
even the Admiral Byrd stuff from the 50s, when he went
yeah,
down and ran into flying saucers or whatever that chased his ass away. If you've
yeah,
ever heard those encounters, it could
uh,
be one of those things. It could be Lockheed
yeah,
Martin testing something. Who knows?
yeah. No, because the way the pilot was describing that it was too fast. Like we didn't have that kind of technology to be able to fly that way.
And
So I
and
thought,
how many people in government, in the U.S. government, laughed when they read that we don't
yeah,
have that?
yeah,
I'm just curious because of the compartmentalization within our government and
yeah,
specifically the military.
yeah,
A very small amount of people know about what's going on,
yeah.
and none of them are involved in any of this disclosure stuff. I guarantee that.
I think, look, I can understand why the government want to shut up. I remember once having an experience, and I went to see a doctor actually, and she was really pissed off. She said, "Oh, there's a lot of the stuff on the internet. Don't come with this mambo shambo into my office." I said, "Excuse me, how do you know it's not the beginning of brain tumor? Because when the beginning of brain tumor, you can hallucinate. What about schizophrenia and all that stuff?" No, I never saw her again.
Smart.
I know. Yeah, exactly. I mean, come on, give me a break. A matter of fact, a few days after that, I went to Warwick Plaza and I was talking to this guy. He came with an electric bike, and I wanted to know about his leg. It looked really nice, man, And I was starting talking about an hour and a half, and I told him what I seen. He told me, "I see the same thing, and it made me a bit sick." I even told it was a truck driver. I even told the guy that I used to deliver stuff, say, "I've seen that a couple of times, and we never felt really good ourselves." Well, what happened to me when I saw that, I saw the stuff and I sort of walk away straight away. And I thought, when the hell I walk away from something like that? Like I remember coming out of my house, seeing that, and I hardly remember walking away. It's very blurred,
Missing time. It's common.
Yeah, but it was like a quick stop. It's not like I went for a few hours because my brother was somewhere taking photos. He could have, but it was really, really weird. What I actually thought. I don't know if I told you this. It was like a boomerang shape, close to the top of the tree. It sort of disappeared and appeared again. It was really weird, man. That's why I went to the doctor a few weeks later to say, "Man, what the hell is going on?" She said, no, it's all mumbo shambo, So I thought, okay, because I wanted answers, Yeah.
They just immediately dismiss it. That's the weird part.
Yeah, and that's why the government.
It's because they have no treatment for that symptom.
Yeah. No, I think because for what I experienced, I can understand why the government want to shut up. They don't want to say anything because people, it can be very insensitive. All of us in the chat might have said something like this. But when the shit hit the fan and tell the people the reality of ourselves, who knows how they're going to feel? You have to remember, man, people are afraid of mice, of cockroach. Yeah, they run for the hills, man. So
I think like most people are just going to hide in their house and wait for the cops to save them or whatever, the army. They're not going to be out there going, check that shit out. Like, yeah, I'll be outside with my camera,
Yeah.
Laughing. I'll be laughing.
Like I know this guy's very, very, very religious. The kind of people, if you don't go church to Sunday, you're going to die. God is going to punish you. It's one of those,
That's an interesting thing. So, like these people who are fundamental Christians and whatnot, what are they going to, if there was some kind of alien landing, how was it, what would their reaction be, Are they going to try and kill these things?
Yeah, yeah, that's a great point, Sherry, because I was talking to this friend of mine, and he knows because the Bible says there is nothing inside of us, so they are in denial. So the government, of course, they're not stupid, man. I mean, you can say whatever you want about the government.
I don't think there's anything other than us too. So yeah. I guess I'm in denial.
Yeah. Well, after all, you have to remember, man, we do exist.
Yeah, I know. We do, but I don't think there's anyone in this container but humans.
in humans. So you
But you
think
don't
the
think
whole
that because of a book. You think that because of what you've deduced.
Yeah, no, I never read the Bible.
Right.
no. The reason I feel the way I feel because of a lot of stuff that I've seen.
Mhm.
I seen lights, man, of a ball like this
Me too.
with another light in it, just
It's like a candle inside, right? Like
no, it's not a candle.
it looked like
It's
a
not
candle. It was a light. Like I saw an orange thing with an orange thing, a brighter orange thing in the middle, and it went.
Yeah, and man, look, I told you this before. If I got a stick of 2 meters, I want to touch it. But when I went like that and they zigzagged, so it won't hit the house, I went, shit, what the hell was that? You know?
I didn't touch it. I couldn't touch it. That's cool.
No, I couldn't touch it for 2 meters. I had a really, really great look on it, man. And it looked weird. Not just the look. It feels weird.
It felt weird. I was going to ask, yeah. What were you thinking prior to that? What was going on in your head right before you saw it?
No, actually, it was it was my brother and my parents.
Mm-hmm.
We were all outside, and it just appears. The thing just out of nowhere.
That's cool.
That's the freaky thing. But here's the cool thing, man. About I don't know if it's cool, but this was crazy. Even my mother noticed this. She had a monoculus. I didn't notice that. I was outside. It was to be 2:30 in the afternoon. And I look up into the sky and I saw this very small thing traveling very, very, very slowly, you know? You know what it looked like? What I thought it was? You know these huge balloons with children holes inside? They look like castles to shape up and down?
Yeah, jumping jacks or jumpy, I forget what they call them. We call them jumping jacks when I was a kid.
Good. Now, I thought on the sky, you know? It was for miles away. I thought, very slowly. An hour later, I come out and it was getting closer, but I still couldn't make it up. It looked like those castles. So I called my mother and she said, get the monoculus. So she started looking at it, right? She said, there is a lot of stuff next to that object. Saying, give it to me. So here's the object, okay?
Yep.
And next to it, there was a small round balls, like a very round, like a small cricket ball or a baseball ball.
Like were they coming out of the thing?
No. This is the thing, and they was just all there, all over the place. And I thought, if that was balloon, they will fly all like that. So maybe with a string on the stick, they will go like that. They were just moving all together.
Like information, yeah.
Yes.
I've seen a ton of that kind of stuff on YouTube, especially in infrared.
Right.
I haven't seen many that are not infrared or thermal. I saw one yesterday that was really cool. I forgot where it's at, though. It was Infamous Fan Club. I think that's his name. I'll give you the link. You should check this out, Jorge, when you get a chance.
Yeah.
This looks like... to me, when I looked at it for the first time, it looked to me like something giving birth, like something laying eggs.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen this, whoop, that's not it.
It's weird.
Where do you see this? This is super weird. I'll show you in a second. Oh, we triggered GP into a intuitive flash. Okay, there it is. Where is it? That's not what I wanted to give you. I apologize.
No, that's cool.
This is the link, that second one. And everyone who's in chat, look at this one. Don't look at the first one. This is the real one. You guys have to look at the live thing. Or look at the video itself and go to like 8 minutes, 8:25. Put it over here so you can see. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, this is really cool. Oh, that is my YouTube. Damn it. Yeah. Hold on a second. Need this window over here. There we go. All right, so yeah, so this guy was filming in, I think it's third generation night vision goggles on a camera,
Right.
and he filmed this object, and there's no indication of the distance or height, so we don't know how big this is. But this thing
Yeah.
proceeds to drop these balls of light in this path,
Right.
and
Yeah.
they just look to me like it's laying eggs or building roots or something.
Yeah, it was really crazy because it was traveling really slowly, man, like really slowly like that, you know?
Right, and these things all move in formation. It's really, really crazy. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
But
I thought
the reason I bring it up is because of what you said about the crickets and things new. What if,
yeah,
I've had this thought for a while and it's crazy, but whatever, that,
Yeah.
what if oxygen isn't air? What if it's more of a liquid and our lungs are more like gills, but we don't perceive it as a liquid because we're in it, right? Just like
Yeah.
fish don't think they're in water.
yeah,
They just breathe it, right? We don't think we're in a liquid per se, but we just breathe it. But there
Yeah.
air could be a liquid. So in that instance, there could
Here.
what?
I got to get you a quote.
There could be creatures like sea creatures in the sky
yeah.
because it looks really organic to me, more than, I don't know, a flying saucer.
Yeah, no, I heard that in same impression for myself, that light that I saw, even that, what do you call it, even that boomerang shape,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just to see, it's the way it makes you feel. It was very close. I mean, another meter down, it will touch at the top of the tree. The whole feel of it. It's not what you see anymore. And that's why I think of the gamma I'm going to shut up, because it is a physical thing. It gets into your nervous system. Remember, Sherry, I walk away, I looked at it, and then I walked. And I thought, what the hell am I doing?
Right.
Jerry, you got to read the quote I just sent into the chat there. It's very similar to what you just described.
Really?
It's a Socrates thing, actually.
Oh my God. I'm so crates. That'd be hilarious. I'm putting it in chat for everybody. What?
It's one of my favorite quotes. It's from the Socrates' Phaedo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but
It's an excellent quote.
Hey, Adam, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you, George?
Not too bad, my friend, not too bad.
Jorge, sorry.
That's cool. It's still me anyway. Long time no talk, my friend.
True. How have you been?
50-50, man. 50-50. Yeah.
Yeah. Ups and downs, normal everyday life, right?
Yes.
I'll be right back.
all right.
Okay.
So Jorge, you're down in Australia, you said?
Yeah, man, I'm in Melbourne.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's about, I think it's about, hang on, it's about, what time is there where you are now, man?
It's 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah, here should be, what the hell is it? Bloody time here? Probably 3 o'clock. 3 in the morning. Let me see. Name of the time, you bastard.
Either way, blazing
Yeah.
sun coming in makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, it's 4:30 actually in the afternoon.
Very nice.
Yeah, it is, man. It is. Actually, the stuff that I'm talking about, because I came to this area, where I am is in Melbourne, Victoria. And when I came to live in this town, right? Oh, it's a beautiful town. Oh, God. Yeah, it's pathetic, man. It's not my type of town, but anyway, you have to do what, yeah, God, man.
That
Anyway.
is true, yes.
Yeah, where I'm from, I'm actually from Uruguay.
I saw the shirt, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And over there, it's a lot of music. I'm a bongo player, so wherever you go, it's always music, man. It's like a different.
You got a guitar in the background there too, I see.
Yeah. But anyway, there was the local newspaper. That was 93. and I was reading of it. And they show some crazy lights going around to the party because there is a lot of country, a lot of empty places that they went to the news. So always something weird happening in this side of town, you know? It's very unbelievable. Like I even see, man, you know, when you look to the sky, you see the stars. So same color of the star, one here and one there. It's like a pen, right? Like that. And it went like that. I thought, shit, man.
So it shot off. Now, did it change directions, or was it all in the same direction?
No, same direction.
All right.
About a year or 2 years before my brother was alive, it was 2012 or whatever. It was very cloudy, right? And we saw, even my brother saw it even before me, like an orange ball, right? Huge like that, sort of traveling like this. And I said, oh man, I went to the clouds, you know? But I
So it
just
was way up there.
Yeah, man, but traveling. It's like the imagine you know what it looked like? You know this when you see
Oh, I think we're losing you.
white light.
So, sorry, you got to start over. You cut out for a second. As soon as you're about to describe what it looks like.
Yeah. You know when you see a plane just before it's gonna land or just give a signal, you see this big light, right?
Yes.
But that light was much bigger than that, but orange.
Okay.
And traveling like that. I thought, oh my God, what the hell was that? You
It
know?
wasn't traveling at you. It was traveling sideways across the
sideways,
sky.
yeah. Like here's the cloud and sort of went like this.
Okay.
Like that. And I thought, oh my God. My brother was spewing because he's into photographs. We miss it, you know. Oh, shit, man.
Photo would come out anyway.
Yeah. Because it was too fast.
Yep.
But it was huge, man. It was really fucking huge, man, you know. So I thought something. It's like we don't know what's going on yet in life.
We never will, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly, because I don't think the government's going to tell us. I'm sure the government knows a lot.
I'm sure they know a lot. They don't know everything that's going on either.
I don't think they know.
Yeah.
I think maybe there are groups within the government that may know or have an idea, but it's compartmentalized. I don't think, like, Trump knows what the fuck's going on. I bet he believes in God, for Christ's sakes.
No, it's the people that are career government workers, the people that never leave their positions. Those are the people that know what's truly going on. The people that get elected into office, they know very little, like you say.
Right. They're considered the transient government, I believe.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
yeah, nobody knows what the fuck's going on. We don't know if I don't know. If half of what we hear is true, we should know what's happening. We should figure it out.
But you know what I think too? Why? Maybe I'm thinking to myself. I'm not saying it is. On Roswell, right? Where they say that flying saucer crash. I thought, what happened if that's true? What happened if it wasn't a crash? What happened if they shoot it down?
That'd be bad.
What happened if it wasn't? Yeah, and what happened? They got the aliens, and they told them with the mind-to-mind sort of talk, you guys gonna be in deep shit, and this is the technology that we have, and they went up shit quick. You know what I mean? Or they just crashed for real, and they show stuff to the soldiers that everyone went in shock, man. Because remember what I'm telling you, that light, that boomerang shape, that make me feel very strange. Now, if I saw this much, and I felt this much, and they saw that much, imagine what else they can know, you know? So I would have been...
When it made you feel strange, did it make you feel strange like you got a boner, felt strange, or were you...
You see, here's the thing. We know how we feel.
I don't think boner translated well.
We know how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
How because of the experience that we know in our own mind. If we see a lion on the street, we know how we feel because we see a lion. But
right.
When you see something weird like that, and then you feel a different feeling, it's hard to describe because it's a feeling that's not normal because of what I've seen. I can describe a lion in the street, my feeling, but that, let's say, how you say in America, is out of the box. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. No, I understand that there's often an energetic, emotional feeling that comes with a lot of these experiences. And I was wondering if it was pleasurable feeling that you got from that image, from that connection.
No, on
or
that
was it
moment,
scary? Or I mean,
yeah, I got you. It wasn't scary at all. On that moment, I was focused on that, and all of a sudden, like nothing else matter, and you surround you. Like all of a sudden, you see it's between you. It's not scary. It's nothing like that. It's not pleasurable. It's not happiness. It's not sadness.
no
None of this-
erezione.
No. I wasn't like this.
Okay.
No, nothing like that. It was
Okay.
a strange, weird feeling that I wish I could describe it. More like on that moment, you try to make sense of what you're seeing, but you don't have answer in your own physical field. It's different. It's really different.
Yeah, and I think we're all capable of that with practice. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what these things are. It's cool. It's cool. By the fact that they can interface with our endocrine system, or through whatever means. Just that alone means they're either part of us, or evolved from us, or going to evolve from us. Right?
What I felt too, it was very peaceable in a way.
Or we're hackable. That's also an option.
But peaceable, like we are in peace, you know. But why I walk away is I started thinking of this, like just maybe they throw something to say, man, you've seen enough. Just walk away. That kind of shit.
Or well, if it depends on how much time you lost, because you might have been abducted or whatever. I think what one idea I've had is that maybe that these things can only appear within a field of a certain type of frequency, and that in that when you're in there interacting with them, time can't go through time isn't really a thing for them. So that would make sense. So, and I'm sure it would be disorienting entering or leaving that. So you're going to go into some kind of altered state. If it wasn't just some kind of altered state mind weapon shot by the government to start with.
But I mean, look, if that's a good point. If that's the government doing things like that, I mean, beautiful. But
there's documented evidence of them doing a lot of shit like that.
Really shit. And where they got the technology to do that? Because we're talking about something completely. It's not psychological. It's not logic anymore. I mean, we're talking about a piece of air. We're talking about some kind of energy. It's you know what I mean?
It's like hard holograms, right?
Yeah, man.
Those were demonstrated in 2003 in Japan, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, it's been all this technology's around. It's just not utilized in a way that you would think.
Right.
And I really do think the human body's energy field is easily hackable. Otherwise, we wouldn't have so much crap in ours. Right?
Yeah.
Anything can attach itself to you. It's like,
like I was
free energy. Just as much as we want free energy, so do the demons. Come on.
Yeah. Like I said before, these young people dying of heart attack and done autopsy, and they cannot believe it. These people die like that. They're trying to do research why people are dying like this. So I thought, something's going on with the air, man. You could be right when you're saying about the oxygen before. You know? Who knows, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about the black goo too while I was taking a leak. I do my best thinking on the toilet. No, I'm kidding. But I was thinking though, if
are you kidding?
You've heard, no, I'm not. You people say that like this physical plane is the energetic projection, or the projection or energetic representation, or representation of the energetic. The expression of the energetic field produces this field, right?
Yeah.
However that works. So what if the black goo and the good black goo and the bad black goo are just 3D representations of the collective subconscious and the collective conscious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Or one is both of ours and the other one's an invader.
So they get into your eye.
Because if everything here physical has an energetic representation, what is the energetic representation of the black goo? You know,
So-
what is it here for?
Yeah.
Oh,
A
it's-
living organism.
I
yeah.
don't know enough about the black goo, so
Me neither. Well, you don't know enough about anything, and you could say, well, a mouse looks like, I'm not saying what it looks like, but the energy of a mouse makes a mouse here on this plane. What type of energy makes black goo?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not, I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying that was a thought I had.
All I know, even all the weird stuff that we've been told that is a lie or this or that, things that are not logical. Sometimes.
Like
Sometimes
nuclear
true.
bombs?
we're back to that.
Like going to the moon?
I was just gonna say moon.
Yeah. I think we got to the bottom of the moon last night.
Got to the bottom of what?
Of the
lead?
moon. Of what it is.
What is it?
It's what's everything that's wrong with us, with the world. It's the source of the infection.
So blow up the moon.
Blow up the moon. Get rid of
All
it.
right, let's do it.
It's also, you know, the director's seat for the Truman Show that's going on down here. That's where they
How would
watch
they
from.
blow up, though, without nukes.
I don't know.
They must fucking love us on interdimensional cable,
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Ball fondlers.
right?
Yes. I guess we're doing this instead of interdimensional cable this season. Morty's mind blowers. That was hilarious.
Even though we did it right the first time.
I love the Answer My Eyes Johnson one. I'm
Mhm.
Answer My Eyes Johnson.
I'll be right back. We get another cup of coffee.
Go get that coffee, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Love me some Rick and Morty, man.
I just have weird thoughts on the toilet, like that about black. No, but I mean, I've heard. Depending on what this is, you know, that makes total sense that there would be an energetic template to project through to make the physical objects. And I've heard it described like that a million times in different ways.
Yeah. Can you imagine, man, if they could say, let's go back to Russell. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. They could say, actually, God didn't make you. We make you.
You know, if that's the case,
Oh, man.
I think I have some issues with the game designers, and I require
Yeah.
some avatar upgrades and options.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in the boat right now that we made this for ourselves,
You know what? I have thought that for a very, very long time.
and we may or may not have been infiltrated or have a virus or something like that. That
Okay,
thing
so
could
let
be
me-
part of the game. That's, you know,
Let me
that's
ask you.
we're in the mythic dungeon right now.
Let me ask you a question for you guys.
Nah, geez, we're the effing Sims.
Go ahead.
Okay. The creation of everything, the universe itself, do you think it was just a fluke or somebody made it?
You're asking me?
Yeah, or
I
Adam.
don't think it's real. I think it's a program that we think
Yeah.
we believe it's real and it's infinite, but it's not. It's just as far as we can see.
Yeah, but it have to have some input for us to talk to each other. So we don't exist, even though it's in a fantasy world. We are communicating, so there have to be some kind of an input to make this reality.
What if this is all there is?
Yeah, but the question is, do we can? I mean,
What if this was our last ditch effort to save ourselves, and this is how we survive the actual apocalypse? This is what we are. This is it. This is all of us. We made this, we uploaded ourselves, and this illusion continues, and that's it.
So what you're saying is it was a fluke. It's not.
No, I say we were bored. knowing everything and being everything and being the only consciousness, the consciousness gets boring after a while. So you make yourself a nice little sim game to jump into.
Omniscience would kind of suck.
Yeah, it would suck to be God. Think about
Yeah,
it.
it would suck.
So we, God, made this Earth simulation, whatever it is, universe, called a universe, and dimensions and all the other stuff that we deal with every day just got built inside of it. And it keeps us busy.
So you believe somebody built it?
We dreamed it. We imagined it, and it became manifest.
It's
because we're God. What? Yeah. That's kind of my philosophy. Right
yeah.
This year.
No, because scientists, they say, I forgot this American name of it. They say from a Big Bang, and then the creation of everything that we know.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a huge problem with that because
there's still a miracle in it.
Yeah, because everybody here, to learn what you know, Sherry, or Adam, or Mike, or everybody else, you want to be a doctor, you have to go to university, you have to know stuff, you need input. Without input, you make nothing. So that's why I believe somebody must do me something. It was more than a fluke. Somebody put a switch into that to give all this information to the whole bloody universe, and we come up that way.
It's very possible. This could be nested in other things.
Yeah,
I was talking like at the very, very top.
Yeah,
I think that it was one thing that got bored and said, let's become individuals and start a farm or whatever.
Yeah.
They had ideas. They wanted to experience physicality because they knew everything. I don't know.
What, consciousness?
Yeah, like at the beginning. When there was nothing and there was a something. And the something said, I'm bored as fuck. Because I've been here.
That's how the Bible starts, so.
Yeah, but for that something, you need information to build anything.
What if that something was all information? And yet, the other thing is, though, all the information you're talking about, it exists. It exists. Because when we first came here, we learned our environment, and that was our first information. We learned the environment, and then we built machines, and we learned those machines. Yes, now you have to teach people how to use things because there's complicated technology, and nobody has word of mouth tradition. There's no, communal teaching. It's not like tribes of people anymore. We're in cities where, frequencies are we bathe in the soup of frequencies. I'm sure that's not good for us. Or communicating with each other energetically. So
writing killed memory too.
Yep. Language, just the introduction of language itself may have destroyed our innate human abilities to be telepathic or whatever extra senses we have that we used all the time. But when we could start talking, instead of having to, focus on mom to tell her that the sheep needs to be milked or whatever, I could say, hey, mom, instead,
A lot easier, of course.
It's a lot easier.
It's coming back, though. It seems like all the studies they're doing on telepathy and telekinesis, you always get that tiny skew in the direction of it actually being something, but enough where it's statistically significant.
I don't know that we ever lost it. I just think it's harder to use. It's not.
It never went away. Just took a very long nap.
Yeah.
It's like anything else. Unused
Atrophied.
skill, unused talent, unused muscle atrophies. You're right. Exactly.
I think it's in all of us. One of the problems that I see, we can use that because of the stress the society brings. Like you have to worry about your family, you have to worry about work, you have to worry about this. Too much worry. It's not good to free the mind to do the things that we really need to do in this world, man.
And those, I don't think those things, these senses you're talking about, these abilities don't work when you're in that frame of mind, when you're stressed, when there's too much cortisol in your system or whatever, however it works. Those things are shut down because it's like, those are, the candy. Those are the sprinkles. You only get that when you're in a really good mood.
You got to get back to balance.
Yeah.
Right now, we're always in survival mode. You got to get back into the area where you're not constantly fearing for your life.
Because you have to remember things, you know, because all the great inventions in the world, like a guitar, a piano, somebody thought of these things. Somebody thought of that. It didn't just come like that. Somebody must be in a hill sitting down somewhere. Oh, you know, I can make some wood, make the body like a shape of a woman with a neck, with strings, with this and that. If that guy was stressed today like we are today,
He wouldn't.
He wouldn't have thought of making a guitar. I mean, just think about it.
It would have looked like it would have looked like RuPaul's body, right?
Yeah.
Well, unless it was stress that drove him to design the guitar in the first place in order to pursue relaxation. So, hey, you know, other side of the fence there.
Yeah. It could be that too. Yeah. Yeah.
You just made me think of something. There's also, you know, I've had this thought. Other people have talked about it, where that we exist in this field in which everything that we ever can think of is there. You know, every idea is out there. Every story is there. It's complete, but you just have to tune into it. And
pure
maybe
potentiality.
Pardon?
It reminds me of pure potentiality.
Sure.
Everything that ever was, ever will be, already exists in a state of pure potentiality. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe as we progressed as humans, we could tune into those certain ideas like the guitar. So maybe he did think of it, and maybe we do think up new ideas, but what we're really doing is just accessing a data cell in the cloud because we're tuned into that, because we're in that state of understanding or being or whatever.
You certainly have credence lent to that by the fact that so many of these inventions and so many of these ideas come up based on psychedelics and drug use and all of these different things.
And a lot of patents are filed at the same time, relatively about the same time on the same things.
Yes.
There was two other pre-internet. Oh, two other groups were working on theory of relativity, and Einstein just happened to beat them. Or no, they kind of laid down to Einstein. But another group actually solved it before him.
Isn't a morphogenic field as part of that where? Because that's why it accounts for several people working on the same thing at the same time without knowledge of one another and whatnot.
Sure, and you could even relate that to 100th monkey syndrome.
Well, you have Sheldrake that kind of proved that by, you know, you teach a rat in one part of the world a skill,
right,
and then somehow magically across the planet, rats get better at doing it. Or, you know, the thing that got me was the fact that crystals form in different ways, and you have it crystallize in a particular new way for the first time in a lab, and then all of a sudden it just starts popping up across the planet. So how does it communicate with other rocks and other crystals around the world?
Through the ether.
Because it's still in sync with itself.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just one thing. You're only seeing little pieces of it.
Right.
Just like if you want to talk about consciousness and spirituality and energy and vibration, you might see 1,000 crickets and you can step on them one at a time, but all crickets are cricket. You know, all elephants are element, all wolf is wolf, you know, that kind of thing.
But they're just subsets of the larger. As everything. It's like bubbles and bubbles and bubbles.
Subroutines.
So what is space then? Just a pure illusion?
Pure potentiality.
There we go.
It really is. I mean,
we've come full circle.
I think like the moon landing was a spell that charmed the world into believing that the moon is a place you can go to, which made space real.
I would call it a glamour.
A glamour. Yeah, I was going to say charm. Yeah. I said charmed. I did say charmed.
So do you think the first moon landing was a hoax, but then the second one was real? Or
I don't think we can go there. If the Van Allen radiation belts are true, if that's real, we can't go past them. And the moon is...
Which means we couldn't have gone to the moon.
Right.
Because there's no way that the technology to go through the Van Allen belts safely existed in what 63 or 69 and doesn't exist now. That is ridiculous. That is the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard any scientist say ever.
You could find the video on YouTube. NASA's working on a way to get past it.
Yep.
And none of the film would have made it back through. And they didn't have enough.
Survive the radiation.
They didn't have enough fuel. There's no oxygen tanks on the LEM. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and on. The actual video from the moon was shown on a 9-inch monitor, which the broadcast companies like NBC or CBS, I think, broadcasted, filmed the monitor. That's what they sent out to everyone. That's what everyone saw. Nobody saw actual footage. It was relayed somehow.
They saw footage of footage.
They saw footage of footage is what they saw.
So, because I came here late, you guys talk what you think we didn't went to the moon or something.
No, I don't think we went to the moon.
No, yeah, because I know some photograph can be, make it like it's not real when it's real or vice versa. When you have the landing, that little car that they had, this 4-wheel drive, whatever.
It was a pickup truck.
Yeah, pickup truck, yeah. Yep. You know what I mean? I don't know how you...
It was the Lunar Rover, it's called.
The Lunar Rover, yeah. The show is standing somewhere, but it didn't show the tracks.
They did. You could see the tracks.
No, but there was one that it didn't.
Oh, probably.
It was just late. And say, look, where's the tracks, man?
Just knowing that it was a Ford pickup truck, that's got to weigh 10,000 pounds.
Yeah, but it's heavy stuff.
Plus all the gear.
Yeah, I know.
They had to carry that to the moon and assemble it there. So they assembled the car on the moon. These guys are astronauts. Who've been in space. It's ridiculous. Whatever. It may have happened.
But they were trained.
It may have happened. I doubt it did. It may have happened at some point. I don't see how. I can't wrap my head around that. Unless the moon is very close.
As in under a dome close.
A dome of the Van Allen radiation belts, yes. But like 1,000 miles away or whatever.
Maybe that's what they are. The Van Allen radiation belts are actually the dome.
Yeah, I think if there is a firmament, that's it. Anyway.
Because it must have took a lot of time to build a Land Rover, man, because it's pretty big, man, because I've seen photos of it. I mean, and when piece by piece of what they're trying on one, because the module, it looked pretty small because only 3 people something. It doesn't look like you can have this, you can have that, It
dude, it's made with the highest quality tinfoil. Oh, these lunar lander jokes are not going anywhere.
No.
You haven't seen the lunar lander lately, have you?
No.
It's a joke.
I hear you can roast a chicken in one if you can fit it in the oven.
Somebody made a t-shirt. Here, I'll give you this link. Somebody made a t-shirt. I think it was Flat Earth Asshole. That's his channel name. It said, does this look like... Oh, I got to find the shirt because I don't want to screw up the joke. You guys, in my Zoom, look at this picture, and I will show everyone else about the copper tinfoil around the outside. It kept it safe through the radiation belts.
Do I have to click something in here because I'm new to this?
Yeah, sorry, in the chat.
So you click on it and you see stuff.
You see a picture. You see a picture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Whatever. I don't want to get down on the moon. It's just crazy. It's nonsense.
There's no curvature.
But that's supposed to be on the moon. Where is everything? Like, why does a curve drop off 15 feet away?
I've seen backyard tree houses better constructed with sturdier materials.
I don't know. And then this is supposed to be in space where there's all this debris that's flying around that can make George Clooney cry. I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It's just the way I am. I don't buy it. So if they had to fake that, why? Because it couldn't go there. So they can't go anywhere. So that means the ISS is fake. You know, all their endeavors must be fake if any one of the parts that this foundation that they built on is fake.
So we just keep doubling and tripling and quadrupling down.
Yeah,
over
because look at the money pit. Because they've got the public trained on believing that CGI is reality. And every picture you get out of NASA is CGI imagery. It's made from radio telescope data or what have you. I mean, there's very few optical scopes looking out deep space. There's nothing to see. It's too. How far can you see light? You know, 1 billion light years away. That's nonsense.
What's the budget of NASA?
10 billion? 52 billion a year?
52 billion?
Something like that.
You don't need it, though. You got the military to cover all of your expenses.
NASA's part of the military.
Right, so you don't have to worry about it.
They have a separate budget. Well, see, I think what's going on is that they're behind the scenes. What's happening is that NASA's moving from DoD to CIA. And in the public, the way it's being done is through SpaceX. They're going to start outsourcing more and more to SpaceX, where they're just going to become an administrative arm. But SpaceX is mostly funded, I think, by the CIA and their venture capital funds.
All right.
Intelligence agencies, put it that way. And private companies who service them. So it's going to be like pretty much a CIA shop after that handoff in, say, 10 years. I think by 2025 is when they want to complete it, I read. They've already started a department or office of space commerce at the government. Obama put in.
So they actually have satellites then?
They think they do?
Well, why else would
yeah, I guess they do. They do. Okay, so they do. So they have satellites.
All right.
They don't have to be 1,000 miles away.
No.
I don't know if satellites can get past the Van Allen radiation belts and be functional on the other side. Nobody comes out and says that that's true, but you have to assume it because allegedly there's satellites that are a million miles from the Earth. Do you remember that picture NASA released of the dark side of the moon passing in front of the Earth like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
No, I haven't seen that.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it's cheesy. NASA's budget it says 2011. In 2011, it was 18.4 billion. I think what I'm thinking is 52 million a day is what their budget is.
All right.
That makes a lot of good CGI. NASA dark side. I forget which satellite it was. Are we talking about the moon again?
But you got to make it so that the Russia Space Agency, whatever that is, China, Europe, it's all in.
They're all in cahoots. It's all one thing.
Political, man.
I don't think the governments really fight like they say they do.
I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah.
I agree about that as well.
Here, check this one out. That picture I just put in there, and I'll show everyone. So the claim was that this was taken, a picture, an actual photograph, from 1 million miles away by a satellite.
Why is it green?
Yeah, I don't know. And this is the supposed dark side of the moon. But I thought the dark side of the moon is always dark, never faces the sun. That's why it's always dark. So how could it be lit up right now? But whatever.
That's a hell of a flash on that Polaroid.
Yeah.
The hell, man.
It's the aliens.
Seriously.
That looks like something I could do, like in grade school.
When was this taken? Because you got a hurricane right there.
Yeah.
That hurricane actually lines up.
So this is the story. NASA. I gotta give you guys a link to that. Damn it.
I'd be very interested to see if they got that correct, because you can see that it was hitting at that exact time that they said, or that exact day.
Here it is. August of 2015. August 7th.
August 7th, 2015.
But we have to.
Had to hit the west coast of Mexico.
Michael Brown again. It's this guy Brown. This guy is someone to watch. He is the dude who put the poo-poo to Pluto.
Poop.
The caca, the merde.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't read it. It's too many words. But it's a weather satellite. It doesn't say when this picture was taken. See, they even call it the dark side of the moon. Come on. Why is it lit up then?
I think it's dark as in we can't see it. I thought that's why.
If any sunlight ever hit it, there would never be a new moon. Because you'd always be able to see the glow behind it. There'd be a halo. It'd be like a lunar eclipse. Or solar eclipse. I don't know.
I'm trying to picture it.
Maybe I'm wrong. I must be wrong because a solar eclipse does light up the backside of the moon.
All right, let me look into these.
Never mind. I'm totally wrong. It doesn't matter. But it's still, I don't believe these pictures. Because at 1,000,000 miles away, that's the scale. Come on. That's how big the moon looks in my camera. I could have taken this picture. If I was facing out there with my camera, I could have taken that picture. And it would have been a lot fucking clearer, too. But whatever.
You do take good moon video, Jer.
I give good moon.
You do. You give great moon.
Yeah, the light is wrong. Like the hot spots in the room. I know. That whole picture is constructed. You can tell. But whatever. It's just like people buy it. They believe it because it's space. And they know it's funky because it's in space. It's going to look a little funky sometimes. It's like people just accept these things as excuses. Like, it's okay. Yeah, we'll let them go. It's only 52 million a month. Whatever. So anyway, it's just a black project farm.
So I'm not seeing anything that would suggest a hurricane or a tropical storm on August 7th.
Where was that? The hurricane.
So the closest I'm seeing is Hurricane Guillermo, which passed Hawaii around August 9th, looks like.
Of 2015?
2015. So you said August 7th was the date of that picture, correct?
Yeah. That's, it's Mexico.
That's definitely Mexico. I think. I mean, I don't know where else that would be.
Yeah, it looks like the Baja Peninsula.
So
I didn't put it. Did I put a link for you guys? I'm sorry. Here it is. Yeah, there's a little video that they released with it.
So this is what I'm seeing here, and Hurricane Guillermo would be the only one.
Well, if you look here, Mike, look at this. Look at this page. They've got a video, an animation rather, of it.
Hold on, let me stop sharing. Where is the...
No, pull it up in your browser.
Oh.
So, all your ads are black. That's kind of fun. Oh, you got Discord running, don't you?
Yes.
That's what streamer mode does. It like hides things. You can't see it, but I can.
All right, let's see. Which one? The latest link you just put up? The Guardian one?
Yeah. And right before the first paragraph, there's a video. And then there's a... Oh, this is much better. It tells you about where the camera's at. It's an unusual...
Yeah, that fit photo.
It was taken on July 16th.
July 16th. Okay. Let me double check that. That may make sense.
That is not... That's not the video.
All right, let's see what we got on July 16th.
And why does the moon kind of fly off and not go around or anything or turn? It doesn't turn at all. There's too many weird things about it.
Doesn't rotate.
No. It
Isn't
doesn't.
it? They say it's the only thing that doesn't.
It does rotate though. It doesn't rotate independent of our tractor beam on it or whatever keeps it there.
It's in park.
I just think that, like, there's a tractor beam in the center of the Earth connected to it, kind of swinging it
Like
around
a leash?
like a leash. Yeah. Harnesses it in place. Or maybe it's magnetic. Maybe there's a magnet under the ground that drags along that moves the moon.
This might have been Hurricane Dolores.
Dolores, are you going to show that video?
Oh, hold on, let me do it.
When they come to the West, a lot of Spanish names, Dolores, Guillermo, all of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they reserved all the god and goddesses for our solar system.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Why do you have an ad?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Okay, check this out. This is hilarious. You'll fall out of your chair. Ellen's Game of Games. There it is.
Wow, I am in awe at the absolute unrealistic look of that.
I know, it's...
Hold on, there's a little star that shows up right there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
One little star.
Yeah.
And then disappears.
It's probably a rendering problem. I don't know.
A mosquito.
Hey, while you're there, go to Google and search. I'll give it. Search for like Earth from space. You'll see that NASA's put out all these different pictures where the size of the continents vary. Some are really tiny. Some are really big. There's one where the United States takes up like 3/4 of the face of the Earth. Yes, fuck yeah, America. What is it, America?
America.
Ah, propaganda.
Yeah, propaganda, man.
Let's see, there's tiny America. Gigantic Africa.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, do one like over time. Do like NASA pictures of Earth. Put flat Earth in it, you'll see.
I gotta just show this one.
See, time
Yeah,
lapse,
there it is.
that'd
There
be
it is.
great.
That's the one I'm talking about. Look how big
Holy
that is.
crap.
Yeah.
That's not even freaking possible.
I
Exactly.
know. But that's what NASA gives us.
Propaganda.
So
I've done a better job with crayons while still in kindergarten, for F's
Yeah.
sake.
But people believe it. It's like,
It's easier to believe the lie than it is to stand up and demand the truth, I suppose.
so, and it doesn't mean that the Earth is flat or we're not a ball or whatever. All it means is that
No,
they're
it just means
hiding
it's
the
terribly
true.
inaccurate.
Yeah, they're hiding something, which is probably more land.
This is my
Yeah.
favorite.
I've often wondered if the planet really isn't like considerably bigger than they're telling us with land masses that we know nothing about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Because
that's either the case.
how would you have a way to even verify, right?
You can't.
Exactly.
You can't because it would be on the other side of Antarctica
Mm-hmm.
So this
or
is my favorite.
the North Pole.
You know, you have
The-
Google
the-
Sky and all these different things. You can zoom in and look at stars and whatnot.
Right. And that's really cool, but that's not space, and that doesn't mean it exists.
I've seen that on Star Trek.
There's Sirius.
What is it? Sirius?
Yep.
Why is
I
it
have
weird
definitely
shape?
seen that on Star Trek.
Yeah, they just drew on it. It's clearly just somebody took like Microsoft Paint and drew something right over it.
Well, God knows they brooked no nonsense with the budget using Microsoft Paint. I mean, God forbid one should stroll into Corel or Photoshop.
You can zoom in
Photoshop.
on anything else.
It's clearly a picture.
For some,
That
for
is
this
so
one,
ridiculous.
I don't know why they did.
I mean, it's. I'm sorry. It's clearly a flat plane on the back. It's not a 3D thing you can drill into.
Okay, now hysterically, it'd be really funny if all the other planets were also actually flat disks, and that they're hiding that too. That
No.
would be hysterical to me. I'm sorry.
That's probably what they are.
Holy crap! There really are going to be 4 turtles or 4 elephants and a big turtle.
Yeah.
You lying bastards.
Yeah, but that's not on this plane.
No, definitely not. Still, it'd be much more entertaining if it was. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I like Stellarium because it gives you that heliocentric view. I'm sorry, geocentric view. So you can like pull out and spin and see interesting patterns in the ways that the stars move. I'm going to make a video. I actually recorded a video of doing that. I got to put it out one of these days. It's really neat.
That sounds like it.
Because they make like figure eights and hourglass shapes. And all
Is that an app or a...
It's a free app. It's called Stellarium.
I'll have to check it out. Thanks.
Sure. They even have it. I think they have it for like phones. Stellarium. I could spell. I could type. Stellarium.org. Yeah, if you don't have this, you get it. It's cool. No.
Yeah, I will definitely check that out. I quite like things like that.
Excuse me. You're welcome. Not the plus sign. That was a mistake. People in chat, get a copy too. There you go.
So if you're in Google Sky and you click planets and you click on Earth, it takes you to Google Earth.
Dr. Mike, I totally have that thought. What did you say, Mike? I'm sorry.
No.
Dr. Mike caught my attention. Before non-Dr. Mike.
Which one?
No, I didn't hear what you said, Mike.
No, I was just saying if you go into Google Sky and click on planets, and then you click on Earth, it takes you into a street map. So they're really breaking the budget on that one too.
Yeah.
Well, Google Earth also has Google Moon and Google Mars add-ons that I think they're pretty much integrated now. But you can change your menu, and you could go be on the moon and be like Google Earth on the moon or Google Earth on Mars, Google Mars, and you can actually walk up to the rover and stuff. Yeah, but no, Doc said something. What did you say that was cool? Oh, that the planets are psychotronic weapons. Yeah. When I first saw Crow made a video where he was over-focusing and under-focusing starlight. So he'd focus on a star and then he would over-focus it. And what would happen would be you get... by over-focusing, I mean, you'd get it in focus and then you would focus more. So it's out of focus, but you're past the point. So your focal point is behind where the star is. Not really, but virtually. And this is an optical lens. And what would happen would be that it's like it kind of implodes, so the circle goes into the outside. I've filmed a couple stars that were over-focused, and they look like they have a watery thing flying over them, and they're different colors, and they don't look round. It's just weird. And that's just from being over-focused. But what I noticed when I did that was there's all these weird red, blue color flashes going on. So that could totally be a psychotronic weapon. But that would go into like the whole idea of astrology being these frequencies that come out of these luminaries that program you at birth or imprint you or whatever they do. Because if they're always constantly beaming this thing at you, depending on where you are and where it is, you'll get more or less of that beam at birth. That's why the degrees and houses matter in astrology.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Maybe it's the coordinates of the data download that's meant specifically for your biomechanical unit.
Could be it too, but the astrology could be the filter.
Yeah,
it's like a big colander in the sky that moves around. Let's light in. Crow didn't rename his. Take Back Space is someone else. Take Back Space is Chris CD down in Florida. I know him.
Can I ask your guys' opinion on something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know how the pyramids in Giza are aligned essentially to Orion's belt?
Mm-hmm.
Don't those kind of look like the same alignment, those three mountains on Mars?
Oh, yeah. There's a whole bunch of shit that matches on Mars.
Yeah.
It looks kind of very similar in terms of that
Yeah,
last one be a little bit off the center.
Or is that a picture of Earth in the future?
And this is a
Or
Sphinx
from the
figure, and
past.
Or
Yeah.
the past. But the pyramids wouldn't be there, but they would be in the future, like more decrepit. I don't know. I don't think Mars is a place you should go either.
Well, if you can't make it to the moon, you can't make it to Mars.
Yeah, stands to reason.
Right. Crow's Crow. Crow is 2 hours? Crow's my boy. Not really, but we talk. I've actually spoken to him. Excuse me. I know he was in YouTube channel. Yeah, Crow got kicked off 2, 3. That was last month, I think, in November, for community standards violation on his lunar wave video from 2012. From like 5 years ago, they booted him off of YouTube.
For what exactly? What does community standards mean?
It's something in his video violated their community standards, and they have no obligation to tell you what part of their thing you violated. So nobody can find out what they've. It's like the Nazis, you know.
I've had about enough of YouTube. I've had enough of Twitter. I've had enough of Facebook. I can't take any of this stuff anymore.
It's their platform,
Yeah, exactly.
and they're the big dogs in the room. So if you want to be heard, you need to be on there. I don't really care. You know, either way.
I stopped using
Yeah, I
Facebook.
probably shouldn't say that considering what we're streaming on right now, but
I stopped using Facebook and Twitter. Sorry, Jerry.
No,
Go ahead.
No. I was agreeing. I don't use Facebook.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I quit using them last January. And my life is so much more peaceful, and I have so much less negative impact on a daily basis from just seeing all the negative diatribe, you know?
Spinning it back to what we were talking about, less stress.
Yeah.
Oh, totally less stress. Yeah, I mean, just the whole idea of like getting excited or not excited over the number of likes that you get on your post or thumbs down, just the emotional attachment to those two things alone is fucking evil. That's totally a mind control program right there.
That's why I got off. I know for not liking stuff. I'm like, I'm done.
And see, I don't even understand that mentality at all.
Yeah, the funny thing is they tell you to be free to be yourself, and when you say your own opinion or whatever, they just smash over the head.
Yep. It doesn't match the mainstream. It's clearly right.
Yeah.
Those are just NPCs talking.
Listen, Sherry, what do you think is the future of the internet, man?
Ooh.
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah, because let's say you have a business, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Any of you, and you employ all these people, and on that business you find out there's a lot of people, let's say, conning other people with BS to make a business and to make money.
Like CNN.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think your business is going to succeed. And that's what I see in the internet sometimes, you know. I say, man, like, you know, children's on math and stuff like that, and come and buy my book. I don't think it's a very good platform for the people who own the internet. And I wouldn't be surprised, maybe, just maybe, one day say, let's close everything. Because I think, Sherry, if you have a business and people are abusing your business, I think you have to be some rustic measurements, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
but nobody owns the internet per se.
Right.
But there are people you have to go through to get it, though.
Right.
Right.
Into it.
Like electricity, you know.
Yeah.
Granted, they make it, and the internet companies do provide the pipelines that pay for electricity and equipment. I mean, there is money that goes into it, so I can see that. But this whole portioning up bandwidth by basically putting toll lanes, essentially, this is what's going to happen to the internet. Is what's happening to my highway right here, 2 miles from my house. They took a perfectly good 2-lane highway, it's 2 going north, 2 going south, with a beautiful wildflower project garden throughout most of the 16 miles of this highway. So it was real pretty to drive on, tree lined the whole way. They tore up all the flowers and they put 2 lanes. They squeezed 2 lanes in there, and those are now or soon to be express lanes to the city, or not actually to the city, but to the next highway, to I-75. So you can get on one of these lanes in the morning or night at rush hour and bypass traffic if you pay to drive there, and the price varies based on demand.
Yeah, the same thing happening here in Melbourne, man. Yeah, you have to pay, they open this frame and then have to pay the money, blah, 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 and they're destroying a lot of good stuff.
Right. So they tore up flowers, and this is the best part. The state doesn't even fucking own those lanes. Part of the deal was they've got the company, they make the lanes, this other company runs it and owns it.
Yeah.
And they get it cut. So
exactly.
It's like opt-in tolls, so they don't have to worry about ever taking the tolls away. And people, they rely on people's stupidity and laziness or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Tardiness.
Once I was a meeting here with the council, right? And in my house here, it's residential. They've been car reaching speed of nearly 180 k's. So when I complain, and the guy say, "Oh well, my mommy who happened to live in that area, this is an old man, say there's not such a thing about things like this. So we're gonna continue with the same system. So with 180 k's, what happens if you go to your house?" And the guy said, "Oh, well, we won't have that sort of talk, you know." So I got the hell out because I knew they were saving money. Because I used to work with the council, man, planting trees, stuff like that, and then the bullshit going on there, man. They don't give a damn. It's about the dollar, man, the money.
Yeah.
And even I took to the police here because there been a couple of accidents, and the guy said, "Oh, there must have been between 170 and 180 days." And I said, "You guys can do something about it. Go to your council." So I went to talk, and he said, "No, man, we're gonna continue with the system because my mom, like I said before, everything's okay." And all the people say, "What do you mean, man? They're racing." Well, what can we do? But you're the council. Well, oh God.
Just go along with the program.
Exactly.
Shut up.
Exactly.
You're rooting for all of us.
Yeah. And about the funny thing is, after that meeting, 2-3 months later, this car went straight into a house.
At 180?
111 miles per hour. 180K, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. 100K, man. Actually, listen, this is the street, right? This is the middle part of it with trees. Mm-hmm. There was racing from this part. There was a house and a car here. So the 2 cars like that. This one apparently touched the other one and flew over the air and went at the top of the other car. And the guy put the cancel. "Hey, man, it's cool." I said, "Thank God."
It's cool. I just flipped my car.
Oh, shit, man. Oh, my
That's
God.
crazy.
Yeah, man. And like I said before, because I was disconnected here, a few months after that meeting, a car went to the street and ended up in people's houses. They went to the room, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky they were watching television. If they were there sleeping, they could have killed the people, you know.
I just read a story that happened yesterday.
Really? Shit.
Or this week. I just read about that.
Over here's a way of life, man. Every week, you don't need to watch TV. I mean, just sit outside and all this shit happen.
It was 2 days ago. It was in Dartmouth.
Right.
Wasn't there a video a month or two back of that old lady driving into the convenience store?
Oh, shit.
There was there was. And there was people who drove into like a DMV a while ago, too, an old lady in Florida.
Jeez.
And they were talking about lowering the driving maximum. Yeah, an 18-year-old man is facing charges of impaired driving. Oh, this is in British. Where is it? I guess it's Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Yeah, he ran into a house. Took out the front room.
Well, I wanted to buy it or something.
But that was 2 days ago. 2 hours ago, a car drove into a house and into a mastic house. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Mastic, like
Suffolk County. It's by you.
Yeah.
So
6 months ago, 6 months ago here in my hometown, We had a soccer mom drive her minivan into someone's living room, like 4 blocks from here, from where I live. Intentionally.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know the other details, but it was intentional. So beware of soccer moms and minivans, folks. There's rage there.
Run for the hills.
Yeah. What you got to watch out for is when they put the ponytail through the back of their baseball cap.
Oh, those bastards! I tell you.
I call that bitch sign. It's like worm sign from Dune. Bitch sign. When you see that, it's like the tennis mom. Like, oh, back off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Mastic. It's the same one that happened. I hate when they play. 75 Broadway in Mastic at 6:12 p.m. A Mitsubishi Galant crashed into a house. Oh, Salvatore Reynoso, 26.
Did they say?
He was
did they say
trashed.
how much yeah.
How much what?
They were doing in speed?
I don't think so. They just said he was really drunk.
really
Oh,
drunk,
shit.
crash into the house at 5 miles an hour.
No,
You
this had to be faster.
Why?
The whole the front half of the car's in there.
That's why dope should be legal, man, so you can go with feeding. Da, 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 da. Don't worry. 20 kids per hour, man.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I mean that's more than that's a pickup truck, I think, or something. It doesn't matter. Oh, it's a Mitsubishi Galant. You just said it. It looks like
He must have taken his head off. Look at that.
No, he got arrested.
Like it's busted.
The whole top of the car is dented in.
Yeah, well, I think when you see that coming, you duck. Otherwise, he couldn't have been arrested. Look at that basement. What a mess.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on down there.
I don't think the car had anything to do with it.
It's just a random plant too.
Oh, shit, look at that.
They
Oh,
may-
my God.
They may just leave it. It actually kind of looks nice.
Oh, yeah, very nice, man.
You know what? If that happened to my house and it formed a perfect seal like that, I'd just leave it.
It'd be
Imagine
warm.
if you
Yeah,
You could start the car to warm up the room.
exactly.
I can imagine religious people around here. It is God. Tell us not to drive.
It's a sign.
Well,
It's a
see,
God.
here's the thing. Like, there was last year I've been tracking this too. The number of cars running into people on sidewalks and whatnot, which are allegedly terrorist attacks. But last year in 2016, there was this whole big thing that came out from WikiLeaks called Vault 7 about these secret remote control car hacking tools that the CIA has. Did anyone
Yes.
remember those? So it's very possible and highly improbable, but that there could be groups of people doing this on purpose to further an automatic, the driverless car future.
Listen, Sherry, listen. This is a good point because here, I think it was in Melbourne, just I think it was before Christmas, just probably 3-4 days ago. This guy went into the city, was in the city, and to the footpath and killed a few people, man.
With the car?
Yeah, with the car. This is the second time it happened. And they say it wasn't a terrorist attack because the guy had mental issues and drugs.
Sure.
Come on, mental issues and drugs, exactly. It happened twice in 2 months.
But, there was one in Melbourne not too long ago too, last year, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, a few days ago, yeah.
No, years, años, dos años.
No. Yeah, was one about probably 5 months ago, a crazy dude, and the last one was just a few days ago, man.
The crazy one drove in circles, that guy?
Yeah, that was a few
okay.
months ago, yeah. Then after that, a couple of days ago, another one. But
That other one, the one I'm talking about that was a couple months ago, that one was the one that got PK Truth kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah,
Because he came out and said it was a hoax.
Oh shit! No. That was true, man. That was very true.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, these people say everything's a hoax.
Yeah,
So-
no. It was, that was reality for sure, man. Yeah.
It was definitely reality for everyone who wasn't involved in the hoax. If it
Exactly.
wasn't, if it was one,
Yeah,
and if it wasn't, then it was for everybody, right? Right? Who knows?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
people who went there and they went to the funeral tell them there was a host, you know. Yeah.
Mm.
It's incredible.
Sorry, Dr. Mike. You left the smokes at the bar. I know you got a carton in your car. He's too cheap to go open a new pack, I bet. That's 1:30. We're done. Look at
Shit.
that. We got to do our predictions. Our 2018 predictions. And Suzanne's got predictions, but she took off. Should have get Jack, maybe? Suzanne.
She said she was
That's
going to
what
come back too. I gotta think of something good.
Darren has wished us Eastern fuckholes Happy New Year's.
Yeah. My prediction for 2019, I don't want to be negative, but more or less the same of 2017, 2016, 2014, 14, and for the last 2,000 years.
She said at 11:30, at 11:51, she'd be back in a half hour.
Didn't quite make it.
All right. Well, she gets no predictions.
Yeah.
Darcy predicts awesomeness. I do too. I predict Darcy will come on the Hive in 2018.
Ooh,
Oh.
bold prediction.
I predict the cryptocurrencies are going to go crazy this year.
I knew that's where you were going to start.
Well, it's not where I started. I started with Darcy.
That's true. All right.
And
else?
Bitcoin is going to collapse.
No. It may eventually, but not this year. It'll go up close to how much it went up percentage wise last year, so like 1,000%.
Yeah. It's a 50-50 kind of thing, I reckon.
It depends. It really looks like Bitcoin is taking the stored value option. You know, it's not a currency. It's not fast enough to work like a currency, so it's going to be more like gold coins or gold bars.
Yeah.
You keep them for value, but you can't use it to go buy smokes, you know?
Like I said, if you want to help the human race get rid of money, and these people's going to be all right. Give them what we need to survive, houses, food, and that's it. Forget about it.
Well, what if we could just make our own? You know, here's an energy unit. Here's a replicator. Go make a house.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye. I do think
Put a
that
seed in the ground.
some smart people should get together and make an alternative internet, a different path. You know, connect to the internet, but not beholden to fucking Comcast or I don't know who else
Not
sells
beholding
cable.
to an ISP.
Yeah, really. There's no reason we
Yeah.
can't have a packet drop.
Well,
right into the internet.
if you're gonna go by the axiom about how information and knowledge should be free, then so should access to it.
Exactly.
So I'm all on board with that.
I think Congress made it a utility or deemed it a utility or something at some point, or we're talking about it, in which case it would be like a basic human need. And no, to answer your question about is it going away, I don't think so, because too many things rely on it today. So, you know, short of a economic collapse where everyone's out of business who doesn't need it anymore, that, you know, I would imagine economic collapse would take the internet down. Because, you know, if Comcast goes out of business, who's going to keep the routers going?
Oh, shit.
Right?
Yeah.
But I don't think there's going to be an economic collapse. In fact, I heard Cliff High the other day say that he felt that it can't collapse now because whenever there's a crack in the economy, the money jumps over to the cryptocurrencies. That's why it's steadily declining. So it will eventually fail, but by that time, the cryptos will have taken enough hold and become ubiquitous enough to replace cash, and we can just let the dollar go.
Yeah.
Well, you got to give it time for that foundation to really become solid.
It wasn't like next year. I think he said by mid 2020s. He could, and that was a speculation, but I like that speculation.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Where there's no crash, and you know we have a soft landing. However you want to think of it. So yeah, I think cryptocurrencies, all the companies that sold coins last year and the initial coin offerings, like Salt, like PayPal is another one. What's that one? Litecoin. These are all really good ideas and are coins that are built to support a business that everyone can use. PayPal is for like virtual game stuff, right? And Litecoin can be used for anything. It's as fast as a Visa transaction. They're going to link up with a processor very soon, like in the next couple months, and have credit cards. You'll be able to have a Visa card that you connected to your Litecoin wallet.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting this year, 2018, see how things.
And when I can buy fucking McDonald's fries and an iced tea with Litecoin, who needs dollars anymore?
Exactly. But,
So yeah, I don't know. I'm super optimistic. I think next year is going to be awesome. I think in the next 3 weeks there's going to be some earth-shattering changes to our reality.
yeah.
Next 2 weeks.
Next 2 or 3 weeks. It's definitely in January, in this new anti-human trafficking month that started an hour and a half ago.
Seriously?
Oh
I
yeah.
personally think I think this entire year is going to be filled with growth, awareness, understanding, transformation, and resurrection. This whole year, I think on an energetic, spiritually alchemical level is really all about transmutation, going from where there are things we have that are chaotic are going to bloom into a place of order and positive structure. So
and I hope
I see a lot of really good things coming.
Yeah. It's like the box of marbles has settled all into place, into one layer.
Yeah.
I predict you're going to see an exponential growth in the amount of podcast listeners. I think you're going to see it become extremely mainstream, much more so than it is now. That everyone's going to start getting away from the mainstream media and all those different outlets.
Yeah.
I think that tipping point has rapidly changed.
We're over that fence. Totally.
I think you're going to see a real bloom in a real growth in also the communities that grow up around podcasting, like the smaller and not so small communities we have with the people that we podcast with.
Absolutely.
So, and I see a lot of supportive things in those communities, and I see that growing and becoming even more of a positive, productive, creative, sharing environment.
As each different pocket kind of gets connected together. Also. Yeah.
Because I think I find the people that I encounter through these types of chat groups and video and verbal forums tend to be far more open-minded and accepting and understanding of difference of opinion. Like all of us here even have had differences of opinion, but we're not personal about it. You know what I mean? We don't take it personal. It's like, oh, okay, that's your opinion. This is mine. And we continue moving forward. Absolutely. Regardless of that fact. We don't get caught up in the minutia and the ridiculous division of it. And I think that's something that we're going to see the spread of throughout communities like the ones that we currently belong to and the other ones that we associate with.
The ones we touch will be healed. I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I was trying to avoid saying that. You know I was.
I know.
True.
I know. I heard the words coming out of your mouth. I know what you're saying.
They were in there too, man. They were in my brain saying, let us out, let us out.
I know. It's all good. So, yeah.
I'm all about that. See, that's the thing, though. It's not just going to be like this material analog manifestation that's changing this concept or our perception of the world around us that's going to change. There are some really deep spiritual healing changes that are coming with genuine awakening and genuine awareness and genuine growth and transformation. That's all this year is all about. That the energy is all about resurrection and washing away the ash of the funeral pyre, the things that have passed through us and left only us behind. All the things where we are in our personal lives, our professional lives, letting go of the things that we have up until this point allowed to hold us back. All that stuff, the ash left on us from that, this year washes away all of that ash. This year is the year where we rise from the flames of that funeral pyre and are transformed into the newest potential of who we can and be. And our endeavors will do that too. And that's why our world is changing in such a positive way.
I hope they can find this philosophy to the Palestinians and Israel for a change. I can't wait for these people to find peace one day, man.
I think it's going to they're going to have to find it, because those types of settings will not be compatible with the way things are going to go, if that makes sense. Everyone's going to look back and they go, will you guys quit fighting and come on? It's the guys, they're holding everyone back by doing that kind of shit. And to Adam's point, I think we are on the verge of some kind of technological renaissance. That we're going to have amazing tech in 2 years. It's shit that we never thought of. And it's not like hidden government tech. It's just new understanding of shit, because so many people are going to fucking wake up this year.
Yes.
Well, and I also feel that on a cultural level, we're finally past the shiny new toy stage of social media and cell phones. And the reality is, what's happening now, what I'm really seeing, as I interact with communities and as I watch the interaction in communities, what I'm really seeing is people setting aside the shiny new toy aspect of those things and beginning to reevaluate and take stock again in the ability to genuinely communicate with like-minded people. And now what I'm seeing is that the technology is no longer in the way because it's not valued as the shiny new toy. It's understood as a tool. I think that understanding is beginning to change and grow. So we're stepping back into a place where our technology is becoming a tool of communication instead of the thing that we do while we're sitting on the toilet all the time.
So to that end,
interesting. That's a really interesting point.
To that end, I'm going to predict that Facebook is going to collapse in 2018. I'm going to go bold and optimistic.
Well, if the whole stock market collapses, for sure.
No, they're going to lose all their users. Everyone's going to leave it.
I think if it ever comes out who truly owns it and what the data goes and where, like the truth behind all that, totally. Same with Twitter and Instagram. The one I avoid like the plague is Snapchat. And my sister last weekend was taking pictures and doing what, I've never seen it, but whatever. They put cat heads on themselves or something.
That's the stupid dog filter one.
Yeah.
I hate that one.
I do too. I've never even seen the app, but they all love it and they talk on it and they send pictures. And I'm looking at going, don't you see this is just a giant facial recognition collection system? Don't you see that? They're like, you're crazy. I'm like, okay, I'm crazy.
Face from that, they got your DNA from 23andMe. They're good.
Which my whole family sent in.
I've already done it, so I'm already screwed before you guys pointed out.
Oh, I would never do that.
It's too late.
I read the fine print. My mom wanted us to do that, and I went to their website. But I have family members that are not only alcoholics but lawyers. I read the fine print. So, and after I read through everything, I was like, oh, hell no. So we did not do that.
I'm too late on that one, but oh well.
And
my
I don't
family's
think people
like,
that are too late about it
don't
are
care.
dense or anything. I just, I think a lot of people just are kind of like, oh yeah, that's no big deal. I think it's a bigger deal than people think it is, considering the corporate climate of our particular culture. But
the
I can
UCC
definitely
code.
understand definitely understand being like, oh, well, no big deal. It's going to happen eventually, because a lot of people really see it that way.
Considering how paranoid I am about a lot of things, I don't know why that thought didn't cross my mind before I did it.
It can't be that hard to do.
I overthink everything in that regard. For some reason with this, it was like, let's just do it.
Well, dude, I guess
I
if
don't know.
somebody really wanted to get their hands on your DNA, it wouldn't be that hard.
No.
Right.
I mean,
you
everybody's
didn't-
careless with trash.
But you
But I
haven't
won't
signed a
even-
contract to give away your DNA for sale.
I won't even.
That's true, but then if they steal it, how are you going to know they have it?
Sure. What, Mike?
That's why I have to get rid of money, to get rid of stress, and to bring freedom to the world, man.
We need
It's
money. We can't get rid of money. At least
No, we can't. We can't get rid of money. It is easy. The only reason they keep money strong is ignorant. Is people to have more than anybody else. It's a fascist society. You listen, man.
what if what if everyone got the same amount of money and it was just
Forget about even the same amount of money.
I don't disagree with you. All I'm saying is that you can't just get rid of it one day. It's got to be a gradual thing.
No, of course. It's slow.
If people thought the way we thought, everyone thought that way, you could get rid of it tomorrow.
Right.
But
yeah, of course.
People don't think that way. So
Right.
you need it up until that point. At that point.
And I think the way to solve that is to just give everybody giant piles of money and say don't close your business for a year or something. You know, if everyone has the same amount of money, it's a level playing field. Then.
Well, money becomes meaningless at that point.
Exactly. Then they'll get the point that they don't need
when
it.
everyone is special, then no one will be.
Right.
Yep.
Anyway, let me get this over. Thanks everyone for watching. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year.
You guys stick around. We can
All right.
talk more. If anyone would like to join us, I will put the link in the chat. Bada bing, bada boom. Here you go. Yes, our DNA is Hoover, but not Madonna's. Madonna has a DNA cleanup crew. All right.
Yeah, she needs an entire crew.
She does.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. We're out of here. Thanks, everybody. Take care.